Jay here, Stretford, Paddock, and this is the Watchalong for Manchester United versus Paris Saint-Germain in Gothenburg. Joining me are two absolute titans of the Manchester United fan base. We've got Tom Cooney with us. How are you?
I'm very good, Jay. Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've ran here, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
I
can't seem to get my timing right ever, even at 35. It's cutting it too far.
35, you're a very, very young man. We had a bag of drinks, right, and everyone helped themselves, so that was... We're not going to comment on the drinks because we're not got a sponsorship deal, but that's the drink that you got. So I'm not commenting on whether that's a good or a bad drink, but that's the one that was left. That's why you've ended up with it.
Oh, is there a bit more of a thing about the drinks here? I feel like
there's a real hierarchy. It's quite a... I
got everyone drinks and then everyone helped themselves, and because you were the last one here, that's the one you got left with.
Right,
so,
okay.
Yeah. I hope that's okay. Forgive me if it's not. Also joining us is Mr. Academy Scoop himself, Finn Picknett. How are we doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah?
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I was at a wedding for the Atletico game, so I missed... I was able to rewatch...
Whose wedding was it?
My cousin's.
Your cousin?
Any highlights?
Okay. Right. Was it all right?
Lots of
Did you end up
canapés.
with your tie around your head on the dance floor at 1 a.m? Yeah?
That was exactly how I ended up.
That's what I like to see at a wedding.
Yeah, it was good. But I've only been able to... I've only seen replays of the game, so looking forward to seeing more of the first teamers.
Oh, you missed
Typical YouTuber.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Part-time Paddock and all that.
I didn't watch the game because it was at my second cousin's bar mitzvah and I couldn't be asked.
That's pretty much it. It's only pre-season anyway,
But I've done a 15-minute video about it.
Well, we'll get into the United team because Finn, you'll be liking it. I think there's a couple of academy players in it, and we'll also talk a little bit about what this game means because me and you did the preview, didn't we, Finn? And we said as we get into August pre-season games, we want to see it crank up a little bit. We want to see more energy, more effort, and more seriousness almost. Yeah. And I felt we saw that in the Atletico game, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that with this game against Paris Saint-Germain. So I'll go through the team. You've got Tom Heaton in net. Senna Lomans, I don't think has travelled.
No, he hasn't. He's still nursing a little bit of an illness, according to reports at Carrington. So.
You made the point, me and you were chatting, I think, off camera before the preview, and you said you think he'll be keen to get back into playing for United because of the World Cup. He
seems like that kind of personality who doesn't want to dwell on mistakes, doesn't want to let it, get to him, and would probably be eager to kind of right his wrongs and get back into a groove of playing well and with confidence.
On the bench?
On the bench, no.
No, he's not on the bench.
Right, okay.
But well spotted, Tom. That was a deliberate mistake that the production team are immediately going to rectify. It was a game almost. It's like a game we play.
He's been between... Right. He's between Tyler Fletcher and Xerxes.
So you actually
have playing outfield.
You actually have got your Belgians mixed up, haven't you?
Clearly a Tielemans spelling error.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a Tielemans spelling error because Yuri Tielemans is on the bench, yet we've confused him with Senna Lomans.
They're easily confused.
So well done, Tom, for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
That's the last time he's going to be invited on this watch long. Right, we'll go through the team. I'm guessing the rest of the team's accurate. It's just that one.
It's just Tielemans
that one little deliberate mistake. So Tom Heaton in goal because despite what that graphic says, Senna Lomans hasn't travelled with the squad. The back four is the pretty standard back four it's been, apart from one. I should add, you've got Shaw, Heaven and Maguire, which we've seen a lot of this pre-season. And then Nuzair Mazraoui comes in, and he's basically coming in for Lenny Yoro, because Lenny Yoro has been the right back for the last couple of games, hasn't he? The last 3 games, is it? Has he been
he's played in every
pre-season game. He's done all right as well, but Nuzair Mazraoui is a right back, and if Delo doesn't play, you'd expect Mazraoui to get the nod, so it makes sense that we've started with an actual right back. In midfield, you've got Mount and Santos, who are playing very well together. A lot of noise that them two could end up starting against Hull because obviously Kobbie Mainoo has only just come back to training and hasn't travelled with the squad, so he's going to be playing a little bit of catch up. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in midfield. But yeah, it wouldn't be surprised if Mount and Santos ended up starting the Premier League season. And then you've got Shea Lacey in the 10. Did very well when he came on against Atletico, helped win that penalty. Looked very direct as he always does, very tricky. Good to see. Just an old school Manchester United attacker for me. Then you've got Ballon Dorgu on the left hand side and Amad Diallo on the right with Brian Mbeumo up front. Brian Mbeumo is having the weirdest pre-season in the history of Manchester United Football Club, because there's times when I've been watching Brian Mbeumo this pre-season and I've genuinely thought I could do that.
I felt a bit like that towards the back end of the season as well. Like but then he pops up.
But then
goals.
there's things he does that I can't score 2 goals for United.
Yeah.
Which he did against Atletico.
Speak for yourself.
Well, sorry, you can, Finn, but you're pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's just been a bit up and down, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably going to. Obviously, Sesko's still nursing that injury, isn't he? So he's probably going to play there. It's interesting with Mbeumo because I feel like I see him playing in this 9 more than anywhere else, but that can't be what he is. I don't think he excels there.
I think that's fair.
I think he does a job.
I think he does a job, and we've seen him score goals, and he can play there, and when he's on it, he looks very useful there. I don't think that's probably his favoured position. He's taken a little while to get going, shall we say, in pre-season, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's looked really quite rusty. He hasn't got that kind of sharpness that he had in the first half of the season last season. I think AFCON, the timing of that kind of hindered his momentum, and I think he never quite came back to the level that he was playing at before. And I think it's been
Let's have a look.
a similar,
really good point, that.
similar story
we'll
in this pre-season, that I think he's kind of struggling to reach those levels. And he doesn't look as natural when he's playing. He's trying passes that just aren't coming off. Even when it's the simple option, sometimes he's scuffing the easy things. So, yeah, he's having a bit of a weird one. I've got no real worries that that's going to continue long term. I think he will find his groove again, but it's a little bit...
Well, I was saying in the last one, I do feel like if he wasn't a new signing and he hadn't... I think what helped him is he provided big moments, like getting the goal at Arsenal against City. He's got that in him, because I do think a player that maybe had been here a bit longer and it was under a bit more scrutiny might have found himself dropped at times towards the back end of last season.
Yeah,
when he really wasn't. Performances were very off it, I thought.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. He's probably got a bit of credit in the bank for the big moments, and also the fact that he's a new signing. But yeah, there will come a time where he has to start producing and has to kind of reach those levels that he was playing at again before, because at Brentford he was easily, I'd say, top 3 or 4 right wingers in the league. Week on week he was putting up top performances, and I feel like we haven't quite seen that consistently from him. But again, I think it will come with time, especially when the season gets going. I think he'll kind of rise to the occasion, because he usually does. But he needs to make sure that he doesn't kind of set into this standard for too long, because I think sometimes it can become your new level, and you don't want that to set in.
I feel like he's in a way he's become a bit of a moments player, and I haven't seen that performance for him where he's given a fullback a nightmare for 60 minutes.
Yeah,
even if it's just trying the right things, he's getting to the byline. He's having a lot of joy, even if maybe you make a goal, maybe you score a goal. But I haven't seen him terrorise anyone in the way that I thought he might, having watched his form at Brentford.
No, it was 11 goals and 3 assists last season, I think, in the Premier League. Well, may as well say the Premier League for everyone, because we didn't barely play any cup games, which is fine. The issue was after I'm just looking at it here now. So like you said there, Tom, he scored against obviously City, he scored against Arsenal, massive games, big goals. Then he scored again against Spurs, an assist against West Ham, an assist against Everton. Then he went 9 games without a goal and an assist. And you're talking about the business end of the season here. That's literally the end of February and basically all through March, right up until it wasn't until Forest, which was in May, that he got on the score sheet, and then he followed that up with another goal against Brighton. So he did end the season on a high couple of goals, and we'll get too carried away. And obviously double figures, which is kind of the minimum in it. Like double figures, if anything less than double figures, you're seriously questioning a player.
Liverpool goal as well, that was a big one.
Yeah, the early one there.
Yeah. So I don't want to be too sort of dismissive of him. Obviously, you meant the goal at Anfield was very good as well. But he needs to improve on that. We can't have one of our attackers having a 9-game spell where he don't get a goal and assist. Now, it's not all about goals and assists. You can still have a good game without getting a goal assist. Let's not forget, we won a lot of those games. That 9-game spell, we beat Everton, we beat Crystal Palace, we beat Villa, we beat Liverpool again at Old Trafford, beat who else is there? Chelsea. So it's not like it was a game where we lost a load of matches. We won the majority of those games, but you could tell that he wasn't himself. I think it was, I want to say the Brentford game at home where I was watching him, and he looked just knackered. He just looked well off it. So hopefully he can put that behind him and we can see a little bit more consistency, but it was almost this pre-season we've seen a similar thing to what we saw last season, where you've seen the good and the bad.
It was funny the way that him and Cunha almost kind of switched their roles in the squad, because I think early in the season a lot of people were criticising Cunha because he really took a while to get going, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't get his first goal contribution for however many games, and then Mbeumo was kind of on fire at the start, and I feel like maybe when Cunha's back in the squad he'll have a bit of competition, even though they're not in the same position. I do have hope that at the start of the season he'll put it back together again.
Sorry, have we changed that graphic, by the way? Because loads of people in the comments are still...
I've not changed it yet.
All right, so we are going to change that, yeah, because a couple of people have mentioned the fact that it says Lomans on the bench. Lomans isn't on the bench, it's Tielemans, but we're going to change that graphic
I'm starting to think
shortly.
he might be playing outfield.
Well, who's more likely to be wrong, United or Harry?
Probably United.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry doesn't really get things
so
wrong.
I think
100% reliability rate.
They're wrong.
Yeah.
It's getting changed now in case anyone's wondering. But we'll just talk about Brian Mbeumo, his sort of patchy form, shall we say. I don't think that's too harsh to say. Look, the good thing about that is, as I said, when he wasn't scoring, others stepped up. Benjamin Sesko had a very good run during that time. Mateus Cunha, I thought he had a better second half of the season than he did the first half of the season. So they dovetail quite nicely. And that can happen, can't it?
Yeah, what I will say is I think the post... So when Carrick came in,
Yeah.
it felt like prior to that, there was a sense that Sesko was building up, and he was going to he was going to end up starting games, for the back end of the season. Carrick came in straight away. It seemed to really... It looked like Sesko was happy and scoring goals, but it was from the bench.
Yeah.
This downturn in Mbeumo's form probably coincided with our best form of the season.
Yeah.
Probably the most settled side, where Carrick obviously had an objective, which was to get us in the Champions League, and almost in a way it was like, you're doing a job here, but when we're getting results, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I wonder if there's a little bit of that in that the objective was Champions League, it was working, and even though Mbeumo pops had tailed off a little bit, the squad was actually producing the most consistent form, winning, putting points on the board. Why would you change it?
Well, you look at that, because, just sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, not at all.
After the Spurs game, the next 3 games, Sesko scored in all of them. Then he didn't score against Newcastle. Then he scored again against Villa, and then towards the end of his season, he scored against Brentford, and against Liverpool. Got that injury against Liverpool, where he was shoved into the advertising boards. Was it Canati?
Yeah.
And I don't understand to this day why that wasn't a foul and a yellow card. And that aggravated an injury. I think he'd already had a little bit of a knock.
Shin problem that he
Shin
was dealing with, yeah.
And that was right in front of me now. I was fucking raging. But that was the end of his season, and he's still not fully recovered. Now I think he's still sort of getting himself back up to fitness.
Yeah. Luckily, I think the word is he'll be back for the next one. But
right, for Dublin.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I think it was a friend of the channel, Ty Marshall, who said that.
Okay, that's good to know, because that was really annoying, because like you said, Tom, he was doing really well, and then he gets scuppered. Also, I'm just looking at the sort of the other attackers as well. Mateus Cunha, if you go in a similar thing, wasn't as prolific, but again, he scored 4 or 5 important goals towards the end of the season. 4 goals. He scored against Villa.
The
scored
Arsenal
the winner
game
against
alone,
Chelsea.
I think, is enough to give him credit for the whole season.
And also, the stat doesn't tell you the full story. It doesn't look at the nature of that goal against Arsenal, of course. It was fantastic. Scored against Scousers. The winner against Chelsea, of course, a massively important goal. And like Mbeumo scored against Forest as well. So they all sort of, when one of them was dropping off, there was someone else stepping up.
Yeah.
But you want to get to the point where you see them all sort of offering a threat every game, not Mbeumo's having a bit of a barren spell or whatever. The others have stepped up.
I think they did really well across the front line, and Bruno and other people that popped up with goals, to score the important goals when it mattered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We weren't scoring a huge volume of goals. It wasn't a high-scoring season, really. But it felt like one of them, whether it was Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko, Bruno, were going to pop up when it was needed. And I think that's why we ended up racking up so many points, because we did pop up in the moments that required a bit of individual brilliance, or something a bit special. So I think hopefully that can continue, but we can also add the kind of reliable, repeatable goal scoring means that will mean we kind of are guaranteed a higher end finish this season.
One player who did struggle last season, even more so than Mbeumo, was Ahmad.
Yeah.
I mean, he went. I'm just looking at stats, and this isn't me trying to hate on him. I love Ahmad Diallo. I think anyone who watches this channel knows that I do. I think he had 16 games without a goal and assist.
Yeah.
And this is post Amorim when he'd been moved into a more advanced position.
I feel like Ahmad was maybe one of the few players in the squad that positionally and in terms of his responsibilities was best platformed by Amorim's system.
Yeah.
He was one of the only players where that wing-back role where he kind of had licence to rotate with whoever the right number 10 was suited him really well. And although it felt like, well, he's a wing-back so his start position's deeper, often he had licence to really be one of the highest attacking players up the pitch. And I feel like maybe that change of position to needing to become more of a kind of touchline winger or someone to bring the ball on the inside did hinder him a little bit. Again, I think similar to Mbeumo, the AFCON timing was a bit difficult with him because I think, it seems like they both struggled to get back their momentum after they returned from that. But again, Ahmad's a player that is so talented. He hasn't had any, long-term injuries or whatever that would really hinder his performance going forward. I think he'll be back to the Ahmad we used to know this season. I've got a lot of confidence in him.
I agree. What do you reckon?
I felt like towards the back end of the season because it suited where we were at the time. We were a little bit more direct in the way we played, and I do think that Ahmad bringing in players like Yuri Tielemans, I think that greater control of the game where you're actually can pin teams in and control the ball. I think often with Ahmad, to me, it's about where he gets the ball, and it's the quick changes of play. You want Ahmad isolated on that corner of the box against his fullback, giving him the opportunity to run. Because I think when Ahmad's in that position, defenders hate it because he's so tricky.
Yeah.
He can always steal half a yard, and you can get past you. You can go both ways. And he backs you into the box. He'll win penalties. He'll get shots away. I think too often we just weren't getting Ahmad in them positions. Which obviously, stats-wise, as you say, towards the end of the season, he really wasn't involved in making goals and scoring goals anywhere near enough. But I do think that I would expect us to operate a little differently this season and probably platform Ahmad a bit better than we had done towards the back end.
Yeah, I think as well, with a team that's hopefully challenging near the top, which I think United should be, someone like Ahmad, and I say this as someone who absolutely loves watching Ahmad play, I don't mind it if he's in and out of the team a little bit, if he doesn't start every game. I think sometimes, as especially when you've got big games almost every week, you've got 2 games a week, you need to have options where it's not just the same front 3 every game, because that's just unsustainable. And also, all good teams have done that. All good teams will have 5 or 6 attackers who would all be considered first-team players. We've done that ourselves in the past at United when we were very successful. You'd have players like Nani who wouldn't start every game, like Jason Park who wouldn't start every game, and yet they'd be first-team players, but you'd be rotating. And I think you need a little bit of that. So Ahmad rotated, I think, would be good. Because certainly towards the end of the first season under Amorim, it was like he was the only one who was capable of doing that. Do you remember? It was just like our tactics seemed to be just give the ball to Ahmad and hope he creates. And don't get me wrong, there was games, you remember the Southampton game where he gets an hat-trick. He did very well, but I remember, I think it was at Molineux, where there's like 3 players on him all the time because Wolves were just like, well, if we stop him, we've stopped United. And that's a lot for still relatively young player. I haven't played a lot of first team football for United to be sort of tasked with. Let me know what you think. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Gops Thember says playing Europe will also benefit some players. We'll have them putting in top performers against European sides and maybe not so much in the physical Premier League. B1 says Ahmad had a lot of personal stuff that happened last year. I think he lost his mum. Yeah, obviously you can't ignore it when people have got personal stuff going on. So yeah, that's a very good point. Maz first game back, says Kuto, don't expect much from him. Maguire and Shaw are unpredictable with their mistakes. Heaven, I think, will do well. Heaton, well, he is backup goalkeeper against Paris Saint-Germain. Mazraoui coming into the side. Do you see it this season as him being the backup to Diogo Dalot, Finn?
Yeah, I think so. I think Mazraoui's seen as a player who can provide depth and support on either side, really. I think he's almost equally as good as a right back and a left back, and even worst case scenario, a centre back when called
upon.
Well,
Stamford Bridge.
Playing in the 10.
Yeah, just play it.
That's when you knew Eric Ten Hag drank the Kool-Aid, hadn't he?
Yeah.
What the hell? I remember, we'll always try and I always try and sort of do a little bit of a Joe Smith and put myself in the manager's shoes. He's very good at that, Joe.
Try and rationalise.
He'll rationalise anything, Joe. He'll try and give you, even if you don't agree with it, he'll try and give you here's what I think he's thinking.
Yeah.
But with that one, Porto, mate, I was over there and I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. But he is, He's intelligent and he's technical, and I think those kind of players can play pretty much anywhere. But obviously, he shouldn't be playing over someone like Ahmad when he's available. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see going into the season whether we do see more of Yoro at right back, or whether his games that he's played there so far have just been because of a lack of bodies there. I think that's interesting because it does feel like the role suits him, especially for his early development, transitioning into eventually becoming hopefully a starting centre-back for United. Maybe as Maguire starts to phase out of the team as he gets a bit older. But I think maybe there's a chance that he was just seen as an option there without Mazraoui and Dalot back. But yeah, I like the back four, to be honest. I think
it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Obviously it needs to be. I know PSG. I'll get to the PSG team in a minute. Not at full strength. I think they're still missing the French players, but they've got a lot of good players there. Shea Lacey, Tom, what have you made of him this pre-season? He's obviously an exciting player. We saw it last season when he came on against Burnley and sort of lit up the ground. He very unlucky not to get on the score sheet. Had a difficult one against Brighton where he got that red card, but then towards the end of the season comes back in and does quite well. What do you make
I think
of him?
In the last game, I've been excited to see him. I think his development's been a little bit hindered over the past couple of years. Probably thought he would have played more first team minutes at this point, but it's not worked out. However, it doesn't seem to have set him back too much watching him of late. The midfield three I enjoyed the most from the previous game. I thought Santos has quietly really impressed me as he's built up over the last couple of games. I thought Mount, especially in the second half, was the best player on the pitch, and Lacey was just he was a joy to watch, isn't he? I mean, he won the great bit of skill for the penalty. I like the way how positive he is. We were talking, weren't we, about how maybe Ahmad needs to channel a bit more of that selfishness at times to back himself to make things happen, because every time Lacey gets the ball, you can see he's trying to find that little bit of space to wriggle away and be extremely positive with the forward passes, running at people, cutting inside, taking shots. And I think that's what I think of as a Man United winger or a 10. That's what I want to see. So he looks like he's got the mentality for it. I'm excited to see a bit more, and I do think as well with the way we've approached things with the squad and the transfer market this season, the amount of games he's playing, I'm expecting he's going to play a big part in the first team squad this year.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with all that, bro. Andy, what do you reckon? Finn, do you think we'll see more of Shea Lacey this season with the last season?
Yeah, definitely. I feel the same. I think what we mentioned earlier about Mbeumo and Ahmad maybe needing the opportunity to rotate a little bit more throughout the season, I think Lacey will be a part of that as well. I think you might have three solid options there in your right wingers. And yeah, I'm so glad that he's been given a bit of a chance, a real opportunity to string together some appearances throughout this pre-season. I was told at the start of the pre-season that he's one of the closest to first team involvement, and that's been shown by Michael Carrick choosing him, while some of the other younger players we've seen have maybe been sent back to play with the under-21s now as more first teamers come in. It seems like Lacey is now basically seen as a first teamer, and I would be very surprised if the plan wasn't to keep him with the squad this season. And it's good that he brings that versatility. He can play as a number 10 and he can play on the right. I think he's just got so much talent, and everyone's known about his talent for years now. He's one of those players where you hear his name years before you ever see him play, just because he's seen as someone with such high potential. And like you said, Tom, it's taken him maybe a bit longer than he would have anticipated. There's been some stumbling blocks in his development, especially with his injuries, but it seems like he's hopefully, fingers crossed, out of the woods when it comes to those injuries, which were probably related to his growth. And yeah, hopefully now he can just kick on, because he does have certain limitations, mainly his physicality. He's obviously not the biggest or strongest or quickest, but on the ball, I think he's probably every bit as good as the best players at the club technically. And he's got such a creative mind as well. Some of the passes that he sees and is able to pull off are just different levels. So
you see so often, don't you, a player like Shea Lacey in this next 18 months, maybe there's question marks, they take a move away, maybe you drop down to, you go to whether it's lower Premier League, Championship, within a couple of years, all of a sudden these players can be talked about for 80 million quid.
Yeah.
So you've got someone there in your ranks that, with the value available today, it's got to be a real focus to try and develop him, because when I watch him, I think there's a player in there. I'd be very surprised if he didn't, over this season, we didn't start to see him have some big moments, whether it's in the League Cup, the FA Cup or whatever.
Yeah.
Just typical Manchester United attacker for me. That's what I want to see. Getting on the ball, trying to make things happen. I don't care if he's a bit greedy. At least he's trying to make things happen, and he's got something about him, and he's the sort of player that gets the crowd going as well. So hopefully he can sort of decision making and stuff like that will improve with age. It should do. There's only like Garnacho, I think, who's went backwards. But most players do tend to improve on that front. And at least when he gets the ball, he's like, look, what can I do? How can I create something? How can I make something happen? Not, I'll just keep possession for possession's sake. I like seeing players like that. And I think Michael Carrick, he's got a manager who will know how to handle him and know how to get the best out of him. We'll go into the PSG team. I think we've got a graphic for that. You can see there we've got Senna Lomans on the bench. I'm only messing. Right, so Finn, I'll let you read that out because your pronunciation's better, man.
Are you sure? We've got Safanov in goal, Bolly, Zabani, Pacho, Kukaba, Lopez, Beraldo, Fernandez, Mayulu, Mbaye, Ayari, and
Kvaratskhelia. Who's absolutely mustard in it. Kvaratskhelia.
He's quite good at
and
football.
also I know we say this every time we talk about PSG, but I can't help it because I'm an old man, right? I'm not used to seeing this, where you rest players in the league and then just play them almost in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And then you win the league anyway and also win the Champions League.
Some of the stats
It's
for
mad.
what them players played in the league. Like, I think Marquinhos wasn't even playing in the league. Hardly.
Played
It was
like 5 or 6 games or something like that.
You've got a league team and you've got a Champions League team and you're winning both.
It's
mental.
yeah, it's bizarre. Also on the bench there, you talk about Marquinhos. You've got Neves on the bench as well. You haven't got the other
Vitinha.
other Portuguese lads. 'Cause
The
there was,
other chap.
oh yeah, you have. Sorry.
Second graphic.
Yeah, there's a second graphic. So you have got Nuno Mendes, you have got Vitinha. They are on the bench. So obviously none of the Portuguese big boys are playing, but you won't be surprised if you see something from them. I think they've only just come back into the fold. So that is a strong squad.
Yeah.
Even without the likes of Ousmane Dembele and Bradley Barkley and all the rest of it, that is a strong squad.
I'm excited. Sorry to
No, go
interrupt.
on.
I'm excited to see Ibrahim Mbaye today because I think he's someone that could leave PSG this summer. He's someone who I would have liked to have seen United go for him as a left winger option, and I think there's a chance that he'll move to the Premier League this summer.
So Liverpool, I mentioned.
Possibly Liverpool, Aston Villa have been in talks with him for a while. Really, really talented player, and he's another one who could probably go for about 30, 35 million, and easily in a couple of years he'd be 80, 90, 100 million pound player.
Just off topic slightly, but I thought we'll get into it before the game gets underway. And get involved in the chat and the comments. Just what do you make of the Bruno Guimaraes signing? Because that's been confirmed now. I think we've had the official comunicado, I think, today.
Yeah.
So he is an Arsenal player. I think we all knew that. We've known it for about a week or two, if not longer. What have you made of that, Tom? Because that is obviously the Premier League champions and Champions League finalists bringing in one of the best players in the Premier League as well. I don't think we can, we need to be bitter about it or silly about it. Bruno Guimaraes, no matter what you think of Newcastle, is a very, very talented player who's done very well for Newcastle. So what do you make of that signing?
Do you mean more for Arsenal in terms of the way it's played out for Newcastle?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I don't want to sound too harsh, but I couldn't give a shit about the Newcastle thing. My concern, if you will, if you call it concern, is the fact that if United are going to have any aspirations of doing things at the top end of the table, Arsenal are literally the team to beat, and they've just got a bit stronger.
I think he's a world-class footballer, one of the best midfielders in the league. I love his personality as well. He's such a leader. I don't think there was anything in the cynic in me. I think he loved being at Newcastle. I think he loved playing in the Premier League. I think he loved St James's Park. I think it's just worked out in a way that the club's changed a bit. Big players have left. He's turning 29, and I think it makes sense for him for this moving to the Champions. And if you look at the business in essence is Norgard out, Bruno in, and it's a phenomenal upgrade, and
massively.
It just makes Arsenal infinitely better. I think he's a brilliant personality to have in there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's a fantastic move, and I think
I agree.
I think one of the big storylines or narratives going into the season is that Arsenal were struggling with 3 major injuries to Saliba, Rice and Saka. Major injuries in the sense that they're very important players, not the severity of their injuries. But I think signing Bruno means that they don't have to worry as much about Rice, because I think Bruno can be paired with pretty much any other midfielder in that squad, and it can work to a decent extent.
I agree with
and
that.
then in the big games, when you think about a pivot of Rice and Bruno, it's quite good.
I think that's a step up from Rice and Zubimendi.
Yeah.
Or even we saw Rice and Lewis Skelly, didn't we, towards the end of the season?
I think it's the best. It's the best double pivot in the Prem outside of Santos and Mount.
I think
I look at the question marks when we were linked with Kane a couple of years ago about the amount of money you're going to pay. In the end, it wasn't a massive amount more than we paid for Højlund. No. People talk about the age. And I think that's the difference when your squad's a bit of a mess and you're looking at these kind of players. I think no one's talking about this transfer fee. No, it's a bargain, really. Yeah. No one's talking about his age, he's in his prime years. But when you've got a settled squad and you're winning things, that's what you can do. You can bring in a player like that, ready to go, and it just makes you better. He'll hit the ground running, and he's a brilliant acquisition.
It's the old adage, isn't it? You strengthen when you're strong. That's what good teams and successful teams do. You don't wait until the wheels start coming off and then spend a load of dough to try and fix it. You try and strengthen when you're strong. Now, Liverpool tried to do that, but they got it all wrong, didn't they? They won the title, went and spent 450 million, but somehow managed to spend 450 million in the worst way you could spend it almost.
I think the summer they've had this season, I'm really not worried about them.
Who have they got today? They've just got someone over the line
Ronaldo
today.
Araujo.
Yeah. Am I missing something?
A couple of years ago, he was seen as someone with a lot of promise and a decent player. I think
he's always got one in him.
He's fallen right off.
Yeah, well, I don't watch a lot of him, so I'm not going to, obviously. But when I've seen him, he seems to have a big mistake in him at times, and just one of those who can be very good on his day.
Is he a rotation option? What's Liverpool's starting?
Karate replacement, maybe, but he's only there on loan with an option to buy.
I would expect Liverpool are going to do more business in that area because I think a Van Dijk, Araujo start to the season is.
The French centre-back Jacques or however you pronounce it, who is very good to be fair, but as soon as he signed he got an injury, and I don't know how ready he is to come back. And then they had Leone as well, very talented Italian centre-back, who also he tore his ACL as soon as he joined them. So they've had a lot of bad luck, to be fair, with some of their injuries, but their recruitment feels like a bit of a mess at the moment.
Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think. MUTV, I was at this game. It's horrible. Mason Lee says Lacey is one of the very few players this pre-season who's looked sharp 90% of the time. 100% of the time, he's looked sharp for 90% of the time. The kid looks like he wants to play to the best of his ability. Yeah, I agree with that, Mason. I think he does. And I think this is a player here. You've got an opportunity here with Shea Lacey where if you handle him the right way, if you've got a manager who knows what he's doing with him, it could be a success. I think part of the problem with Garnacho, yes, there was obviously his mindset wasn't great and there was obviously problems there. And I don't like using the term attitude with players. I think it's overused, but I think in some cases it's true. And I think it certainly was true with Alejandro Garnacho. However, I don't think we handled him the right way either. I think there was a time when Alejandro Garnacho, he played was it about 80 games on the spin or something? It was about 19 playing every week. When there was times
it was a record for his age for the amount of games played.
And there was times when and his form wasn't great. He said, "Well, just take him out of the team, even to take him out of the squad for a week." Do you know what I mean? Like rest him. And it was like, "Well, we can't because we need him," kind of thing. And then he got ideas above his station. I thought he was Cristiano Ronaldo 2.0. And obviously the rest is history. But I think this is an opportunity here with Shea Lacey to get it right with a player who, in my opinion, and by all means you may disagree, has got as much talent as Garnacho. I think he could reach the heights that Garnacho reached and then some.
Did you see it?
Sorry, it's hard to compare at face value academy players, but Garnacho didn't reach close to the levels that Lacey's played at in the under-18s for basically since he was 15, 16. I think there's a real there's a difference in the level of talent there. I think Garnacho had certain attributes that made his first team transition a bit more seamless. He's a bit more of a willing runner and a bit of more of a natural kind of athlete. I think that helped him a lot. But in terms of talent levels, Shea Lacey's in the bracket of players where there's only 3 or 4 that I've seen in the last 10 years at his level, right up there with your Kobe Mainus of Carrington. And he's also a player that will never drop a stinker. Do you know what I mean? He'll have games where you don't notice him too much. And
he seems to be have such better control technically in all of his actions. Yeah. Whereas Garnacho, I always felt was a little bit scruffy, a little bit loose sometimes. He'd do good things, but I almost thought, did he even mean to do that? Exactly. Is that a bit of a fluke? Next time he tries that, it's not going to go that way.
No,
with Lacey, it's also natural.
Yeah, it does. And
I was going to say,
there's a reason there's been a lot of noise about Shea Lacey for so many years, and there was concerns, wasn't there, about his injury record. Yeah. But he's managed to stay fit, and you can just watch him and see how good he is, and hopefully we'll see more of it. Mason Lee says, Subject 49 got given 2 months too soon. Subject 49, it's like he who shall not be named. People overrated Garnacho because they hated Sancho as well, says Dylan 172. Maybe there's an element of that. Look, the thing with Garnacho as well is you had reason to rally behind him and think this is a player. I remember him coming on against City at Old Trafford when we won the derby, and he was phenomenal for that cameo. The late winner against Fulham, then you saw the Puskas winner against Everton. So you have these moments where you go, look, there's only 18, 19, there's a player here. I get all that. The issue was when things started to go wrong a little bit, it wasn't addressed. It was just sort of let to fester and carry on. And I don't think it helps as well when you had this scenario with Rasmus Højlund up front struggling and Garnacho just decided that I'm just never going to pass to you, which was just untenable. You can't have a front three where one of your wingers doesn't want to pass to your striker.
I think he was outperforming people. Certainly people, look at what was happening with Rashford, as you say, Sancho. Almost a victim of the fact that he was able to come in at a time when he should have had a very obvious role in that squad. He was promoted beyond that out of necessity and because he was playing better than senior professionals earning 350 grand a week.
Yeah, a full name Huggy says, think with Garnacho he doesn't have good people around him. Akash K says Garnacho couldn't even dribble properly either. The fact Ten Hag kept playing him over Ahmad makes no sense. I mean, I don't know, there's some at times with Ten Hag just didn't
funny thoughts on players who
the one with Ahmad one was really odd to me.
Well, I was told by someone quite close to the dressing room around the time that Ahmad was struggling for game time that he did, I don't mean to be harsh to Amari Forsum, but he did think that Amari Forsum was the better player and the player more deserving of minutes during that period. I think looking back on how their careers have played out so far, and I still hope Amari Forsum goes on to have a good career, but
you just made me search something like that, and this will sound weird and contradictory because Amari Forsum got an assist in this game, and it was the Wolves game, and he got an assist for Kobbie Mainoo's winner, so I can't knock him.
The best goal ever scored.
The best goal ever scored, the most important goal ever scored.
Yeah.
Easy to forget the assist.
Yeah, and that's Amari Forsum's assist. But Ahmad was an unused sub in that game.
Yeah.
Like, it was obvious that Ten Hag just didn't fancy him as an option, and this is a game where, we'd thrown it away, hadn't we? We were 2-0 up at one point.
Funny because he felt like a Ten Hag kind of player, didn't he?
And then he was getting minutes early on in the season. I seem to remember around the time we beat Southampton, Ahmad was.
Yeah. But even I remember when we played for the 4-3. Obviously, he got the winner, and I know he got suspended because he took his shirt off and he got a second yellow and a red. But then, even when he came back, I remember being at Wembley. He came on late in the game and then was asked to play midfield, and he wasn't getting many opportunities. He was getting like the odd cameo, but it certainly didn't seem as though Ten Hag looked at him and thought, you're a good option for me. And then towards the end of Ten Hag's time, I remember got beat off Liverpool. Ahmad came on and looked lively, got the crowd going, looked good. Against Brighton, I think he got a goal. Like, he'd had moments, but it didn't feel like Ten Hag even then was fully committed. Now, I don't know if it was because you spent a load of money on Anthony. You've also got other options that you're trying to explore, but the whole Omari Forsum thing, which
it's just a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, no disrespect to Omari Forsum, but
it doesn't help that
it doesn't seem like
that's a constant crisis though.
Yeah.
Because it felt like Ten Hag was never far away from the sack. So obviously, you spent a lot of money on certain players, and there's a big pressure on that to do well. Every game matters so much. You're so focused on who you can trust, and as opposed to being relaxed and giving people opportunities and doing well in multiple competitions, it's a completely different, state of play when you're fighting, as I think managers have been in recent times.
Judge yourself. 81 says Casado could be interesting third midfield signing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much in that. Supposedly, there's a chance he'll leave Barcelona this summer. I think he's an all right player, but again, I think United can do better, and there are kind of better market opportunities out there.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll watch this space. Are we up to date on this, by the way? Is this what's currently on? I think this is like...
we're a bit behind.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to...
Give it a refresh.
I think we might have clicked on something else there by accident. I think we were watching the highlights of
If you click
Manchester
watch
City
now.
women beating Manchester United in the derby. Because the bad thing about that is I was at that game.
Was it the last game of the season?
It was towards the end of the season. I remember it rained, and the wind was blowing the rain into my face, and it was.
You just go on MUTV and then,
yeah. If you go on MUTV,
There was a watch live option.
Yeah. Watch now.
Watch now.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, is that just the arrival videos?
No, press play. What's that? Is that not a?
No, that's just like arrival videos. And
For God's sake!
We'll figure it out.
Right. Okay. Right. Right. We're gonna.
the current live thing is PSG versus United.
Is that
Yeah.
not
Was
there?
it-
So is there a watch now above you? Just on that? Oh, whatever page you were just on.
Go up,
Up
scroll
here.
up.
Scroll up. Oh, is that now still the same thing?
Is
Sorry.
it definitely on? It's definitely on MUTV, isn't it?
What was it? So if you go up, see these little options here. Where's the PSG? If you go across on there, I'm sure I saw PSG.
Anyone who knows in the chat, let me know where you're watching it, because we've got MUTV up here and we can't seem to find the button that says you can watch it, which is slightly disconcerting. 15 minutes before kickoff. I have it on MUTV. Yeah, people are saying they've got it on MUTV. Watch live. Make sure you're logged in. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Watch now. They
There we
fixed
go.
it.
Smashed it.
They made it complicated by saying PSG versus United. Watch now. And
The website's always a
that
mess, isn't it?
fucking, we're never going to understand that. Give us a chance. There's someone else did. I just clicked on the 2021 game and it went to the live feed. There you go.
We're gonna watch the replay instead. Of
Yeah,
the
do you
live
know
feed.
what? Should we do that?
Bit of Wan-Bissaka Twanzebe
Hey,
masterclass.
The Ogilvy having the worst shot in football history, and it's somehow giving Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer a permanent job at United. How things work out. Ronnie Johnson being interviewed by Zara Connolly on the pitch. Ronnie Johnson, one of the most underrated players you'll ever see. In case you're just joining us, we'll go briefly through the teams again for both Manchester United and for Paris Saint-Germain. And let us know what you think as well. For United, it's Tom Eaton in goal. You've got back four of Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Aidan Heaven, and Nuzem Mazraoui. Mazraoui coming in for his first pre-season game. In midfield, you've got a double pivot of Mason Mount and Andre Santos, which has been working very well so far this pre-season. Be interesting to see whether that is actually the choice come the opening game in the Premier League against Hull. And then you've got a front three of Patrick Dorgu, Shea Lacey and Ahmad, front four I should say, and then Brian and Mbumo up top. We think that's how it's going to set up. Obviously it can change, and if it does change we'll let you know. And then on the subs bench you've got Heath, me, Amas, Armour, Delo, Yoro, Bruno Fernandes, Jack Fletcher, Tyler Fletcher, Yuri Tielemans, who should get his Manchester United debut today, and Joshua Zirkzee. So yeah, pretty strong squad from Manchester United. And for PSG, they've got a pretty strong team, but they're missing probably a few more players than we have, and you can see the PSG team there on your screens. They've also got some big hitters on the bench, the likes of Vitinha, João Neves and Nuno Mendes, all on the bench for the European champions as we're 15 minutes away from kickoff. Get involved in the chat. Give us your score predictions as well. Here's a good question. Oh, it's just gone off my screen. Amia Gokale says, Jay, question for you. Pallister or Johnson? Or Johnson, I should say. Gary Pallister for me. Yeah, both very, very good. Both underrated in their own way. But Gary Pallister, I think Gary Pallister's in the conversation for best Premier League defender ever. I think he's in that. I think he's that good. I really do. And I just think because he's sort of early Premier League, people ignore that era of the Premier League, and that's why it's like you don't hear Dennis Irwin as much as you should do in terms of one of the Premier League's best ever defenders until more recently.
Of the win at Anfield where he scores the two headers.
Oh yeah, of course. This is what I mean.
When I was,
he was phenomenal. I think it was. I'm right in thinking the first two Premier League seasons where United won back-to-back titles. I think in those over the course of those two seasons, I think he missed one game, and these were 42 game seasons. I think he played 83 out of 84 games, which is insane. And I think that game he missed was he was rested. Yeah. So just an absolute world-class defender who probably suffers from the whole, well, you didn't win the Champions League nonsense, which wasn't fair because of the 3-4 rule, which I won't get into. We spoke about on the Brew last night. Give us your score prediction, please.
Oh, Christ. I'll go 2-2.
2-2. Desmond. 2-2 there from Tom.
No,
Finn.
2-1.
No, there you go.
Yeah. We're further along in our pre-season.
Yeah.
2-1.
I said on the preview yesterday 3-1 because, like you just said, we're further along. They've only played one game. Also, we're a better team. So, yeah, 3-1. Easy.
3-1, I like that. What did I say? I said 2-0, didn't I?
You said, 2-0, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I want to stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do worry a little bit because Kvaratskhelia is obviously mint.
He's no Ballon d'Or though, is he?
He's
See, I thought the players that made the Atletico game so good was the fact that Atletico, who were a bit further behind in their preparations, it was the young players that were, had a point to prove or getting an opportunity. Yeah. The lad that was tearing us apart for the first 5 minutes who scored the goal. Yeah, there was some like 16, 17-year-old players that I don't know. I think rather than senior pros that are coming back from the World Cup are building up on minutes. The focus is minutes, whereas I don't know. I feel like we should be in a better place for this one. Yeah. The Football League starts today as well, so it's
the real football's back.
Yeah, this back. Is it. Don't think Maguire and Heaton and Shaw can match the Parisian speed, says Samsonite. I don't know about whether Heaton's got it, but
Heaton's going to be
he's going to have to rush out of his area.
Running rings around him.
Tackle someone. If we relied on Tom Heaton's pace, then I agree with you. We might be in a bit of trouble.
Carrick's trying something new.
Yeah, like to try and sweep a keeper. Yeah. We need to be a modern Manuel Neuer
with Lomans in the 6.
Yeah, let's see how that works out. But no, it'll be a good test for Manchester United. Give us your score prediction. Smokey has said 1-1. Brennan says it fully clicks in today, 12-0. Can Eaton play left back, says 3 Dog. We'll have to wait and see.
Is he right-footed?
Tom Eaton? I don't know, actually, to be fair.
Completely two-footed.
Ross Murphy's gone for a 2-2 draw. Duarte 99 says, come on United, and greetings from Canada. Thank you, Duarte. Thanks for your support on the channel as well. Akash K, 1-0 United win. Suvi Baccharia 5875 says 3-2 United. Kev Rosadino says not a clue, but I'm up for it. Brennan T says it was a type 2-0, but I'll take the accidental confidence of a 12. Oh, right, it was a typo. Right, I thought you were just being like, one of those. Amir Gakale says I think 3-3 at full time and we do pens, which we win. Is it pens today? Is it?
They normally doing these things just for the.
Yeah. I know the last one was for the Snapdragon Cup.
Yeah, what cup do we win today when we win 12-0?
Strawberry Cup.
Yeah, nice. 2-1, Mr. Brown says, and Heaton to get the winner.
Yeah, I hear that.
We'll see. Stranger things have happened. I don't even know a scenario that could happen, to be fair. Like, if it was 1-0, would Tom Eaton go for a corner? I don't think he would.
Minute.
Yeah, I don't think there is a way that happens, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Looks like there's quite a lot of fans there. We've got Adam McCullough and Joe Smith over in Gothenburg for us as well. You probably saw them doing Uncensored from there. They're going to be doing some post-match stuff. After the game as well, we'll be hearing from Stephen Howson, who's not in Gothenburg, but he's in Manchester. So make sure you're hitting like, share and subscribe and let us know your thoughts as well. Make sure you get involved in the chat and the comments. Are you all right to get a little bit of volley on the game as well, please? Producer Harry, thank you, sir.
You been to Sweden?
Yes, I went to the Europa League final in 2017. Stockholm.
Lovely.
Great night. See United get back into the Champions League. Obviously an emotional week after what happened at Manchester Arena, and to see United sort of give us something to cheer about after that was great. Get back into the Champions League, and just in terms of a final and a performance against Ajax, it was never in doubt. We just turned up and they didn't, and we were pretty comfortable from the get-go. But I think that's my only time I've been in Sweden, actually. About yourself?
I've never been. I'd like to. Never been to any of Scandinavia, but
have you not?
It'd be really nice.
Oh, mate, have you been to Scandinavia?
Yeah, it's quite. I thought it's very clean. Just everything's sharp edges and pristine. Yeah. I went over on the the train from Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I went to just past Malmo to Lund just for the day,
right,
just because
nice.
I thought, while I'm in Denmark, it's
Yeah.
a train journey to Sweden. But,
I like that.
Yeah.
I've been to Copenhagen a
Yeah.
couple of times.
I'd love to go to Copenhagen.
Mate, I love Copenhagen. My missus says me can't mix. So whenever we've got on about Copenhagen, I've gone about how the Wi-Fi and the 5G is amazing.
Is it?
But it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They've just got
It's
things worked
unbelievable.
out
It's
out there,
it's
haven't they?
like seriously. It's the way using your phone over there is how it should be. There's
like-
never
yeah.
any signal issues, right? It's just
I feel like you could be on the top of a mountain.
it's just instantaneous anytime you're doing something on your phone, and I love it. But I've been to Norway a few times actually. I've been to Bergen, I've been to Oslo, pre-season other times. Lucky enough to do a bit of stuff with some ex-United players. Did a Q&A with Lee Sharp over there and Bojan.
Right, show off.
I know, sorry, showing off now, name dropping and all that. But then me and my missus went to the Atletico game, which was Christian Eriksen's debut, if you remember. And it was red hot then, but that was good. So the Scandinavians, though, the Manchester United fans in Scandinavia are nuts.
yeah.
And I mean that in a
Yeah.
good way. The ace, they are the absolutely definition of diehard,
Yeah.
mate. They absolutely love United. And whenever you're over there, it's such a good laugh.
Do you think United's the biggest team over there, especially with Norway?
It's a good question, that, and I think it's close because Liverpool are popular there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend they're not. I
Which,
think it's a bit of a split, but I do think United are popular.
Which
most
Norwegian
popular.
players have played for Liverpool?
Is it like, was Jan Molbe? No, he was Danish, wasn't he, Jan Molbe? I think it might
Jan
just be.
Risa?
Fjortoft,
was Risa Norwegian?
possibly, yeah.
Yeah. No
Did Jan
way.
have
I do think though that the
I think a lot of it comes from like 70s and 80s and stuff,
Right,
not
right.
necessarily like Premier League era. Because you've got like Ovin Leonarsson, Stig Inge Bjorneby, John Arisa, you've mentioned, Vegard Hegem. Like, these aren't,
Nobodies.
no one's going to be like, oh, that's it, that's made me support Liverpool. But I think if you look at like 70s and 80s, Liverpool winning Champions
Sammy
League.
Herpia, obviously.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they've that's when it's sort of forged, and Liverpool and United are sort of a good mix there, but I'd say United shade it. I mean, let me know if you're Norwegian and you're in the chat. Am I getting it all wrong? Because I'm not. I don't know. Magnus, the fanboy 6709 says love from Christian Sand, Norway, GGMU. Thank you. Akash K says I need to visit Denmark at some point. Yeah. Yes, you do. It's mint. The next one, is it Poland? The next one. Oh, Dublin. Dublin on Wednesday. I'm going. Jesus Christ. Is it Poland? Yeah. Turn up there and there's no one there.
No one here, lads.
Yeah, what's going on? Yes, the next one is Leeds at Croke Park. Looking forward to that.
Good, wasn't it?
Hey, into them fucking bastards. And then I think, is it Milan in Poland?
Yeah.
There you go. So I won't be going to Milan or to Poland, but the lads will be there. But I think me, Steve and Maka are going to Dublin.
Is it Community Shield next week?
Oh, God, yeah. When is it? That's a good
Is it
question.
next week? I thought it was, for some reason, I had the 15th in my head. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let's have a butcher's. It's the 16th of August, yes, the next week.
Right.
It's at Cardiff.
Oh, okay.
Arsenal, it's mad that, isn't it? Like, because we've all been guilty of it. People get carried away sometimes with the Charity Shield or the Community Shield, obviously, as it's known. And then I remember, was it the one where Nunes scored, didn't it? It was one where Nunes scored and Ireland had a quiet game, and everyone was like, Ireland's a waste of money. And all.
Yeah.
Nunes is the better side, and all the Scousers were going mad.
Cut to
Like,
West Ham game.
yeah, like,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
and we've all been guilty of it. I've seen United like play well in the Community Shield or Charity Shield, as I just call it, and
we're winning the
then that's it. It's on, and then
They're more of a friendly than ever.
Yeah.
At the minute, yeah.
I remember
the way they
I
get
wanna
played.
get
now.
98,
and
in the 98 one, which is obviously the beginning of the 98-99 season. I think Arsenal did us 3-0. And Stam had a difficult game, and everyone was like, Stam's, I'm pretty sure that was it. I might be getting mixed up, but I think it was 3-0. And yeah, people were writing us off because they just won the double, done us in the Charity Shield, and everyone was like, well, that's it, United are us. And we had the greatest season ever. So you can't look too much into it.
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, I thought so. I remember everyone was convinced that was this.
Overmars, man of the match.
Yeah, everyone was convinced, right, that was the beginning of the Arsenal Wenger dominance
era.
Yeah, and that Fergie was done and United were done, and it was all over.
Yeah, even in the Wikipedia thing, it cites Jaap Stam as Anelka going round him in the box.
That's it.
Yeah.
I thought so because he had a bit of a nightmare, Youngstown, and people go 10 million on him, mate. United fans. Don't forget this is before social media. God knows what the tweets would have been like now.
Yeah.
But the media, the press, the pundits were all like, I can't believe
Teletext.
spent 10 million quid on this guy. He's well off out of his depth. Like forgetting that it's literally his first time against like proper Premier League opposition. And then we end up winning the treble, and Youngstown has one of the greatest seasons any defenders ever had. Quite literally. So there you go. Celine CO8 says, since Liverpool was winning a lot during the 70s and 80s, the weak Norwegians became fans, while people with spines, guts and own opinions became United fans.
That's quite a strong opinion.
Honestly, outside of the UK, I think they're the most diehard fans from other countries of the Premier League, whether it's Liverpool or Man United,
really
whether their team is.
Do you know so many of them as well will do like 20 games a season?
Oh, they'll come, mate.
Like honestly, I've met so many Norwegians, and you'll see them at like I don't know Christmas. They'll be like, oh, this is my 10th game this season. And you're like, mate, it's my 10th game, and I live in Eccles. What you doing? Like they make the trip.
Proper diehard fans.
Yeah, they love it. And the part of what makes Manchester United great, and obviously for Norwegian United fans, like Ollie's a legend, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a proper full-on legend. So it must be great for them. They were living the best life when he was the manager, and we've done a few bits with Norwegian TV as well. Akash K says, I remember seeing the Fergie's finished article, Jay, when Arsenal went unbeaten. Yeah, when they drew 12 games that season. You're right. People was writing off writing Fergie off when Mourinho won back-to-back titles. I think it was Ollie Holt in 2006 after we won the League Cup, said Fergie should retire. I mean, to be fair, he was right, because what did Fergie win after 2006 other than 5 more Premier League titles and another Champions League?
Yeah.
Great shout, Ollie.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was, though? I think so many journalists were hoping Fergie had retired and finished because it was difficult to deal with. Plus, logically looking at it, when you saw like Benitez and you saw Mourinho and you saw Wenger and their different approaches, it very much felt like, oh, Fergie's a bit of a dinosaur. Fergie's got this old school approach. It ain't going to work. But what people underestimate is the fact that Fergie has always been able to adapt. And he knows how to handle players, and he knows how to get the best out of players, and he knows when you need to spend money and when you need to bring players through the academy. He was a genius at that, and people just forgot that. And in 2003 and 4, United were going through this transitional period. You had obviously Arsenal winning the league, Chelsea winning back-to-back titles, but during like that time, we brought in Rooney, Ronaldo, Rio had come a bit earlier. You had the makings of a great team there with world-class players, and then you added in Evra and Vidic and Van der Sar. I mean,
that's what
fucking
happens,
hell.
isn't it?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
United underway here. Could be in here. Is it Brian and Bumo? No, that's a foul.
Really looking forward to this. It should be a better level than the games we've had so far.
Yes.
You do want to see a bit from Mbeumo and Ahmad.
Just going back then, it's amazing looking back at how quick pundits are ready to predict that the die is almost cast for what's going to happen over the next 5 years, the next 10 years.
And how rarely is it right?
Yeah, like Liverpool are going to dominate the league. You know, I'm sure Carragher said, they could go on, and you'll be hearing the same things about Arsenal, but it never quite works out. It's very hard to do what Man United did and what City have done in a way.
It's a good point, that Tom. I remember in sort of 95, 96 when we won the league, we played Liverpool during that season, and a lot of the pundits were saying that the Liverpool team was the team that was going to dominate, not the United team with Beckham and Scholes and Butt and all that. It was Liverpool, McManaman and Redknapp and Fowler. Everyone was predicting that is the team. Yeah. Because those were slightly ahead in terms of like, they're in and they've scored. PSG have scored. Fuck's sake.
Another early goal.
Honestly.
It was a fast break, that wasn't it? It was
Jesus Christ.
Was that Mbaye?
Yeah.
Was it like he'd gone a little bit early? Obviously no VAR, is there?
I mean...
Well, that's good.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Tom Eaton cut out for pace at the far post there.
They predicted it.
Luke Shaw there.
Was it Joe Fernandez over to Mbaye?
Feels like Shaw's got a better view of that coming onto Heaven's, blind side there.
Yeah, I agree.
And he just backs off and just backs away from where the danger's going to be.
I love this. Mr. Dick Johnson, season is over.
Carrick out, please. Oh my God.
Oh God.
They're on it again here. Tom Eaton, oh my days. Great save. You knew what he was doing. Textbook.
So quick to get back up.
Yeah, the pace that Tom Eaton got us out of jail there. Yeah. United all over the gaffer in a minute. We need to settle down, otherwise we don't want to get embarrassed.
Good
nice
pass
ball
from Lacey. Look at that.
Right. Mazraoui, who's tried to model himself on Brian Mbumo, I know.
There, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Getting us accused of racism here.
Yeah.
I know it's only pre-season.
Go on.
But it does frustrate me watching games when you seem to just not be concentrated in the first couple of minutes, because this is what you've been working for the past couple of days, and there's tactical instruction to take in. There's people playing for places.
FIFA kickoff glitch, isn't it?
It's a lack of concentration there in the first 2 minutes of the game.
It's just annoying, isn't it?
But better to happen now.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you can't look too much in a pre-season. One thing you don't want, though, is to get battered.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because then people will looking at that and go, that's how far off we are. And then people go, well, that could be a good thing, because it makes, the club go out and buy loads of players, but that's not how it works. It just doesn't.
Oh.
Mason Lee says, what are your lads genuine, he's put that in capitals, don't lie, thoughts on Santos? I effing love how simple he plays. Not sure about you lads. Been impressed so far with him this pre-season. My thoughts sort of stem a lot from the reaction of Chelsea fans as well. They were fuming when he went. A lot of Chelsea fans who watch him week in, week out, who I respect. Well, there's not loads of them. There's a few though that I do actually respect, and they all thought it was a really good signing. What do you think?
I genuinely think he's a very good signing. I really enjoy, like who's commented there.
Was it Mason?
Like you said, he does keep his game really simple. Always looks to release the ball in 1, 2 or 3 touches. He doesn't dwell on the ball for too long. Likes to play forward. He's very vertical with his passes. Just really like him as a player, and I think also off the ball he's a little bit underrated because, again, he's not the quickest. He's not like one of these players that just eats up ground, but he does position himself so well and read the game so well that he doesn't need to have that top end pace because he's usually in the right place to kind of cut off passing lanes and make interceptions. So I really like him as a player, and I think he's so well suited to what Carrick's trying to do. So I think it's a really good bit of recruitment because it's not always about getting just the best player you possibly can. It's about fitting your players to the manager's needs and also fitting your players to the style of play that you're trying to create. And I think he's so well suited to that, what we're trying to create here.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tom, your thoughts so far on 100? Not from this game, 6 minutes of this, but pre-season and just the signing in general.
The same. I was slightly underwhelmed a little bit by the signing of Edison when that looked like it was going to go through. Just from again, not watched him in great detail, but from what I did have a little gander at, what I did see, I thought I wondered how much he was really going to be able to participate in big games.
Boomo with an header at the near post, it goes over and wide, but better from United.
I do wonder if there's a little bit of the Andre Santos signing has been looked as almost he's filling the gap that we didn't get over the line with Edison, but I do see him as a much better prospect, different point in his career. I don't see him as like a leftover at all. I feel like he was on the right track with Chelsea to becoming quite a good player for them. He's done well at Strasbourg, which is obviously a team linked to them. He's come into a team with players bought for a lot of money in and around his position, and some of his stretches in the team have coincided with Chelsea's best form.
You said that, didn't you?
Yeah.
When they actually, that brief spell under Liam
Rosenior.
Rosenior where they didn't look absolutely garbage.
They won their first 10 out of 12 games, and I think he played in pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
And
So
I think Chelsea fans really liked him around that time, and there wasn't much explanation for why he came out of the team. It's a lot of politics.
I think it does go under the radar, doesn't it? How what a mess Chelsea have kind of put themselves in, where they are always going to be forced to sell players where there's value, and you find value in the players that teams actually want. Not your cast-offs that you can. Well, so they do all right sometimes getting players over to Saudi.
Oh, I thought that was a really good ball then, but Mazraoui's there. Aiden Evan now on the ball. He needs a bit of help here, lads. He's done well
He's
there.
all right.
Nice.
It's a foul, isn't it? No, he's not having it. I was about to say. Just settle down a bit, man. Come on.
He looks wham.
Yeah. Just looking at this, yeah, there's a shoving about there from Dorgu there.
Do you think there's any world where we just, of course there's got to be, but where we've got what we've got now, and this is what we're going into the season with, do you think there's going to be more business?
I'd expect more business, to be honest with you. I'd be very surprised if this is it, 85 million quid outlay, which isn't even your net spend.
Am I right in saying I think I saw something that we haven't gone a single summer window since 2020 or 2021 where we haven't made a deadline day signing?
Right,
We do it every summer basically, so I wouldn't be surprised if we wait.
Yeah,
It was the last one, because we did our
Was
business
Sesko
quite
deadline
early.
Maybe Lomans.
It was Lomans, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
was
he
gonna
wasn't
say,
at the
'cause it
beginning of the
was-
season, was he? Because Ali Bayandeh was in goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I mean, do you remember the one? There was one under Oliver. We did about 4 on deadline day. It was like Cavani, Tellez, Pelestri, and Ahmad. I think were all deadline day signings. It was like United just went mental.
I'm glad we got Ahmad, but that was the worst summer we've had in so long. We had a real opportunity there to kind of build on what Ollie was doing, and we just did nothing. And it's what the Glazers have done for years and years, isn't it? We don't invest when we're strong. We wait till everything collapses and then say, oh, okay, we'll spend a bit now. And I think part of this summer has been a bit about, right, not let's close the gap. It's more what can we do to make sure we don't collapse this season. So
I think when you make mistakes in the transfer window as well, it sets you back. Like, look at Ugarte.
yeah.
You've made more problems by trying to fix something with an imperfect solution.
Yeah.
Would it have been better to say, okay, the player we want isn't available, isn't there, let's hold our ground and go with what we've got, rather than signing a player that, once again, we're always struggling to sell these players that come in and aren't the answer to our problems. Teams know we want rid.
This is why I hope we're going to kind of hold our nerve when it comes to Lewis Hall this summer, because I think there's a good chance that he won't extend at Newcastle. He might stay this summer. In fact, it looks like he will. But I think that's one that could be revisited, and I think United could do well to just hold off a little bit, not go for a stopgap, who's not really the ideal long-term solution, and then maybe revisit next summer when has he got 2 years or one left?
I think it's 2.
2. So he'd still only have one left. You'd think,
But it's cash in time if he's not going to sign
yeah,
again,
exactly.
isn't it?
So I think we need to be a bit smarter, and it looks like we are operating a bit more, in a more clever way.
Fair play. Mason Lee with Super Chat said, is it a mad shout that I'm more concerned about not getting a new centre-back than a left-back for the season ahead? The injury agenda for centre-back hurts my thoughts. Mason Lee also says, commentary, Stretford, Paddock, MUFC, go on, lads. I've said similar things about, I do have worries over centre-back because the injury record of De Ligt and Miners isn't, surely is he off?
He's off.
Yeah.
Aren't great, sorry. And then if Maguire was to get injured as well, whose injury record over the last few seasons hasn't been great, then you are down to bare bones. But look, I don't think we're going to bring a centre back in. I think we're just going to have to make do.
If it is a concern, though, I think it's about getting rid as well, because you don't want to be signing players and then everyone is fit, and you've got an abundance of centre halves. People aren't playing, people aren't happy.
I think there's some decisions to be made next summer.
100%.
If Martinez and De Ligt, and I love them both to be fair, but if they are not they don't have a good season in terms of appearances, I think you have to make a decision, at least on one of them.
Go on.
Doggy there with some good skill.
Great ball
Fires
from
it
Maguire
across
there.
there.
Handball.
That's right, free, you knobhead.
How's that not a handball?
Oh, terrible.
Clear as day.
I don't understand why no one's appealing.
Good touch and
Doggy
bit
did
of
really
movement
well
from Dorgu
there.
here, yeah.
Nice little.
Oh, actually, it comes off turned up, but still.
Just lays it into the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's cleared. But United back in possession now. And Bumo trying to make things happen. See what I mean?
Oh,
That's what I mean.
Not good.
Little things like that.
Yeah.
Like,
It is the simple things that usually he's getting
I'm just
wrong.
hoping he's getting it out of his system.
Yeah. He took the ball nicely there, and it looked like he was going
And then
Outside of the
together,
foot,
and
you know. It's,
It's an easy tap in there for the lad. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think so far. Big Perm 88 says, right idea, Dorgu, not a winger, ha ha ha. Yeah, we'll be interested to see what happens as well, because next week, is everyone back next week? So Rashford, Mainu, I know Mainu's big in, the back at Carrington,
must
but
be. Yeah.
pretty much everyone, yeah.
hopefully Cooney and Lemons are fit as well. It could be like the first team.
I think Pacho, who he's on the bench, isn't he, is someone who it would be really good for Heaven to model his game on a little bit.
Yeah.
Athletic, left-sided centre-back who in the last couple of years has risen to become, one of the best in his position in Europe. And I think there's no reason why that can't, look at that pass.
That's a great ball
Look
by
at that
Aiden
ball.
Heaven, by the way.
Bringing the ball out from the back and then switching it 60
absolutely
yards.
Fantastic.
I think there's no reason he can't aim to be one of the best in the world in his position. So much talent.
They'll always switch sides, haven't they?
Good ball. Go on.
Yeah, Doggy switched over to the side there.
Yeah.
Just got crowded out a little bit. Trying to make things happen, though. It's what you want to see.
Good couple of minutes. Keeping the ball nicely.
Yeah, I think Pacho is starting.
Oh, he is? Sorry, he is starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Someone just pointed that out as well, and I thought.
Oh, no. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Yeah,
Saki, no prisoners there. PSG in again. Is that. He's touched a bit heavy there. And is that Aiden Evan getting a yellow?
takes a lot to get a yellow in a friendly, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think he can have any
Can't
complaints,
complain.
to be fair.
Brilliant switch a second ago, wasn't it? Brilliant ball under
yeah,
pressure,
yeah.
and then he gives it away. A simple one there, and
Bit
puts
of
in
a
quite a
naive
bad tackle.
but-
That's a really poor tackle.
He's lucky there that it's not red, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's awful.
I think if that's an actually competitive
trying to
game,
do?
I think that there might have been a little bit of either a red or VAR look at it, and they go, yeah, we're going to give a red card for that.
You're going mad as a manager if that tackle's going in on your player in a pre-season game.
Yeah, I think he just needs to stay on his feet from now on. He didn't have it there. It's all right, lad. Yeah, Luis Enrique is not happy. Who was that who slid in? Was it Santos?
Andre Santos,
Did
yeah.
well there.
Good block.
What's he doing there? Nice bit of skill, but he'd left the ball behind. Cleared, crossed in, but Harry Maguire was onto that.
Funny
United
game
counter
this.
here now.
This is Lacey.
Go on, Ahmad. Ahmad. Oh,
He's
got
not
two
much
players
up
on
there,
him
is
there.
there?
And he's... Oh, and Bumo again.
Burmo.
Jesus. I know it's only pre-season, and he had, he did get 2 goals in his last game. But bloody hell, come on, mate.
Just so sloppy, isn't he?
It is. It's just weird. It's like there's no need for it. It's got options on. It's just giving it away.
Did anyone ever do the European Cup 3 years in a row?
Well, what before like the modern
Yeah.
Champions League? I think Real Madrid did
Let's have a look.
in like the 60s or
Yeah, no, they did
80s.
5, I think, in a row.
5 in a row.
Yeah, in the 50s.
bloody hell.
But in terms of
Obviously, modern times it's 2.
yeah,
isn't it?
it's
Oh, that was nice.
what's that?
Is that a pen?
No, I think
No.
he's giving a free kick there. Mazraoui was taken down there. Did it very good. I thought it was inside the box there, but I was,
Yeah.
let's have a
Well, it
butcher.
was in Burma for a second.
Yeah. So yeah, in the first 5 European Cups, Real Madrid won them all,
Right.
and Benfica did back-to-back. Your side didn't do back-to-back. Let's get to the Champions League era because that's what everyone cares
I
about.
think Real Madrid had done like 3 out of 4, hadn't they? Or
Let's have a I think so. Obviously, Barca did 2, but it was split. Wasn't
Wait,
it?
who's come off? Mason Mount's come off.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, are you joking?
Well,
This is the thing with Mason Mount. I don't know how serious that injury is, so let's not get giddy. But the fact he's coming off after 90 minutes,
it's not good.
not
is
a
it?
good thing. Yeah, Madrid did no, sorry, you're right, Tom. They did 3 from 2016 to 2018. Of course they did, because they beat Liverpool, didn't
Yeah.
they, to do the third of those 3 wins.
So
Right.
PSG on for
It is Mbumo standing over his free
Recovery.
kick.
Don't mind that.
Oh, good save there.
It's just Mount's luck, isn't it?
This is the thing we all said, and
You just can't
we've
rely
all
on him.
discussed about Mason Mount. It's not about his ability; it's about his availability. Now we'll see what happens, but
Didn't even
I don't think
see him
there's-
go down or
yeah.
anything like that.
I don't think there's a positive spin you can put on that because the season's coming up in a couple of weeks and everyone's talking about him and starting the first game.
Yeah.
These are minutes, important minutes to have in the legs.
No.
Why would you come off?
I
Signs.
agree. The only, and it's not a positive spin at all, Tom. I agree with everything you said. The only thing I could say is you hope it's just massively precautionary.
And also that maybe it prompts United to finally go and grab that
there's
third
relatively
midfielder. But
positive things you can say. That's another good point. That
Yeah.
the club go right. Well,
you can't rely on him for that last midfield spot. It's great when he is available, but it's just annoying.
But
isn't
even
it?
with his availability, he's never in a good period of form, is he? Because he can't play 7 or 8, 9
Yeah.
games to build
it's
himself
funny
into that
because you were
position.
saying it earlier. Have you seen that in the chat, Chris? Yeah.
What's that?
In the WhatsApp chat. Good lad. You were talking about Ahmad under Amarim, and let's be honest, there wasn't loads of positives for anyone under Amarim, but Ahmad was, like you say, probably did get a tune out of him. I think Mount was the only one who out and out benefited from Amarim's system and Amarim's style at the club. Because I think he actually got a consistent run in the team. He stayed injury free for a few months, and he played well. To be fair, the lad. And that sort of 2-10s suited him, didn't it? That was kind of his, an ideal system for him. And then obviously when Carrick came in, he wasn't fancied by Carrick, but then was injured anyway for a big chunk of it.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at going, okay, here's an opportunity for you playing in a deeper role, maybe you're that guy alongside Santos. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that you could be if you prove yourself. But the difference between someone like Mount and Mainu and even Tielemans is Mount has to prove that he can do it in there. We know what Mainu can do there, and I think everyone would be, just assume, well, it's Mainu and Santos would work. That's Santos is your Casemiro replacement. It'd just be what you saw last season. Mount's got to sort of show what he can do, and he's not going to be able to do that. He's injured, obviously. United are in now. Oh, it's a bad choice there.
Whip it in. It's a bit late. Go on. I thought Dorgu was going to get his head on
like it was Burma had a chance there to slip in.
Yeah, I agree.
Pass across, he got it wrong. Good strength.
I like that.
Oh, he's sweeper keeper there.
With his head.
Thierry Bud says Mount's injuries are destroying him. He needs this season, doesn't he, Mason Mount? I'm not getting melodramatic because it's only pre-season, but the questions are his injuries. He needs to do some of this season because he's kind of got a season more than a lot of people expected, because usually it's 2. And he going into his 4th season now?
I think so, yeah. When's his contract done? He's not signed any renewals or anything.
No, I'd be amazed if he had. So usually, if you've not had a consistent run of the team or done much, that'd be it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think that the argument is that Mason Mount's, it's not he's a bad player, it's just he's been injured a lot. JM23950 says, shock horror, the last 3 years of data on Mount has come to pass. Just watching here, actually, United could be in. No. Hopefully that outweighs the silly delusion of relying on him. It's bad luck on his end, but it's factual data. A third midfielder is needed. Yeah, I mean,
you can't really argue coming off after 15 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think
you have to treat it as it's an opportunity, isn't it? This, because he isn't first choice. Like, this is an opportunity.
No,
keep yourself fit. And I know you can't. No one chooses to get injured, but he's in line to start the season, and now you look at it and it changes the whole vibe around it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, because he's been one of the success stories in pre-season. Him and Santos linking up well, playing well together, and people going, okay, if Tielemans, if Mainu aren't 100% by the start of the season, because it's no disrespect, but let's be honest, Hull's as bad as easy as you're going to get, because it's Hull and then even Ipswich, you think, okay, that's a good opportunity for them to start. Not if he's not fit, and especially if Mainu or Tielemans now play before the start of the season and are fitter than Mount is. There's no reason to play Mason Mount, is there? Like you said, Finn, maybe United look at it and go, we can't try and rely on someone who's had injury issues. We need that third midfielder.
Yeah, if he's available, it's a bonus. But I think you have to plan
too much money to be. Oh, maybe he's available.
Yeah. But I think you have to plan your squad almost as if he's not there.
Yeah.
And then if he is available, then it's it's a little extra bonus. But I think you have to get a third midfielder this summer. I think it's still a priority, or at least should be.
There's no excuses really, it's United, because we've got basically the same amount of midfielders as we had last season. Last season we played 40 games.
Yeah.
Like, we know we're playing more games than that because we're in the Champions League. So you can't just have the same amount of midfielders. That's just stupid. PSG's just knocking it around a little bit. United have been better in the last 10-15.
Yeah.
Had more of the ball. Free kick on the edge of the box. Created a couple of chances.
It's been quite an even game, really.
Yeah. Which is what you want to see. I was a bit worried after PSG got that first and then another chance that don't want to start seeing them running away with it. But we haven't seen that at all.
Well in.
Well done.
That's a lovely turn there, Tyler Fletcher.
Here we go, Dorgu on the left-hand side here.
Good bit of football, this.
Oh, he tries to cross it there. This wasn't quite happening. Can you just turn it down a little bit, please, Chris? Thank you.
Sometimes I think that's the difference there a little bit. Dorgu got, as soon as that ball comes to him and he's in a crossing position, you want to see that movement from Mbermo there, where he's either trying to run across the front post or get in between his defenders, and he just kind of backed off. And the first three players that made a move into the box were all PSG players.
Yeah.
And then, there's nothing really for Dorgu to aim at. Okay, the cross could have been better, but in that position, you feel like you'd like to think a Sesko sniffs an opportunity, comes alive a little bit, and you see that in his movement.
Steve M says, what if they decide to put their faith in Fletcher instead of getting another midfielder? Finn, what do you think of that? A, could it happen, and B, should it happen?
I think it could happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that surprised. I don't think it should. Not because he's not good enough to be playing first team games now and to at least be getting cameos off the bench. I think that's right for him. But again, we need, if we want to aim, lovely from Aiden Heaven carrying the ball out from the back.
Hey, I tell you what.
But if we want to aim to compete on all fronts, you need senior established options there. And I think it puts too much pressure on Tyler Fletcher to expect him to be the next person to step up when one player gets an injury.
I don't think it's a good look for Ineos as well.
No.
Now, some super chats. B. Kurashi says, at least Santos is class, free Palestine. KW998 says, someone tell Steve he needs to apologise to Santos. Aaron M29 says, if we sign 3 more players, where would you choose? Midfield, left back,
wing.
Oh,
if it's not Lewis Hall, then I'd say left wing.
Okay,
and then centre back / right back.
Right,
like
Tom.
a player that can play both.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
Tom.
I think both the full back positions. I think we can improve.
Yeah.
The Lewis Hall one's more of I do see that as a transfer opportunity.
Yeah.
And then definitely another midfielder. We can't go into the season with this being our roster.
No,
it's not enough.
I'd probably go left back, midfielder, and backup striker. I get your point, Tom, about centre backs. If everyone is fit, you can have too many. If you start buying them, you need to get someone to move on.
Yeah, it's true.
Marlow United, Mount injury, best news this window. Obviously, he's hoping that that's going to lead to Manchester United signing someone. We'll have to wait and see. We don't even know the nature of that injury for starters. We'll see. We'll see what Carrick. I don't think there's a presser after this game. So you're probably not going to get... Well, you won't get a presser, but you might get an MUTV interview.
Yeah.
Where he'll tell... or a club interview where he'll tell the club
it's always
an update.
It's always a little bit more concerning when... a bit more concerning when it's a non-contact injury. We didn't even see him go down. Maybe it was from a knock that wasn't on camera or whatever, but when there's not players around him and he goes down, it's usually a bit more worrying. So hopefully
and again, another scenario, he's gone into the game carrying a little bit of something and he's felt it and it's a precaution, but again, it's still not a good...
No. Go on.
It's just so poor.
From Mbermo there.
For a player that Mbumo's USP is basically his final ball and his efficiency in those kind of final actions. He's not the type of player that will rack up 7-8 dribbles during a game. He's very much like efficiency, final ball is right, and it's not complicated. And right now he's not even doing that part of the game.
The choices made in that counter-attack have to be better.
Yeah. You release it maybe a little bit earlier, or if you want to release it that late, at least get the path of the ball and the weight spot on. But Ahmad was sent...
Brilliant from Ahmad there.
There we go.
Go on.
Have a hit.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
commentators.
That's Ahmad.
That's what he's about, Brian Mbumo.
Well done.
He did that against Atletico. He's like, what's he doing? Yeah. And then he pops up with goals. So fair play.
Fair play,
finish as well.
Just talking about his end product and everything. Yeah. It's a good finish. And very well done from Ahmad there.
That's what you want to see.
That's almost what he's reduced to.
Heavy touch there
between the posts
from the defender.
It's much more like it.
And that's the way to pass from Ahmad.
Yeah.
There's one touch and finish. On the reverse a second ago, Ahmad's chasing the ball into the corner, but, fair play, good finish.
Good touch, good finish. Yeah. Very nice.
Just what we want to see.
That's much... Yeah, exactly. No more criticism of him today.
Yes.
Or maybe more. Maybe that's because we were criticising him.
Yeah, that's it.
He heard us.
He knew. Hey. Who was it with a mistake? Is that your mate? Or was it
Pacho?
someone-
Yeah. All just going wrong.
A heavy touch, wasn't it?
Always thought it was shite anyways.
I think players like... I think Ahmad is... That is a genuine skill he has.
Yeah.
How he sniffs out them opportunities that other players possibly wouldn't. That you might get away with that against a Rashford or Burma or...
Do you remember the Everton game? We won 4-0.
Yeah,
And he just,
Branthwaite.
he just kept picking the pockets, didn't he?
He did it in the Champions League as well.
Should be back. Internet gone. FF. Loads of people saying... We're back. We should be back. Forgive us if you've lost us. We're back now. Apologies for that.
Oh, brilliant from Ahmad. Let's it run across.
Oh, yeah, Ahmad.
But again, there's a lot.
Oh, go on.
Oh, great skill. Great. Is that a good... Oh, just a little bit too much on it.
Almost.
He's done really well to make something now, and it looked like he was crowded out a bit. That's what you want to see more of, because I think that's what I was almost getting used to with Ahmad when he turned the corner, is that he'll turn situations where it's 70-30 against him. Somehow he'll keep hold of it and he'll find himself in space.
Yeah, very
He draws
tidy.
players to him.
Ahmad says Heaven's Soul. I agree. We were saying before the game, you want to see everyone play well, but he needed a decent World Cup and a decent pre-season. I thought he had a decent World Cup. I think he was very unlucky not to start that game against Norway. And obviously scored a worldie when he came on. But he's looked bright today. What's that?
Maguire.
Yeah, fucking hell.
You have to be
How was your touch,
6'8"
son?
to bring that down.
Oh, I'm surprised that wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
Come on, have a go.
Go on, Lacey's there. Oh, the ball's there.
Luke Shaw now on the edge of the
It's a great
area.
ball.
Go on.
Oh! Am just not tall enough? Just needs to grow. Well, it's gone out.
Lacey was wide open there for the pass. That was on. I might have wanted the pen there, but
Let's have a look here.
not sure.
Let's have a look.
No.
He does that thing where he's like that, but steps into him.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, isn't it?
I saw a post in the week about I was just playing some old clips of going back about 10, 12 years and players that would dribble and our defenders are so, they're tackling with their feet, everything's with their feet, everything they try and do. And it's kind of crept into the game that there's so much more now with the arms and grabbing and pulling, and that referees haven't quite got a hold of it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And that, great pieces of play are stopped so quick, so much earlier on in the middle of the pack.
Tackle that from Patrick Dorgu, who also sets us on our way. Amazing tackle that.
Here we go.
Some space
Right, go on
over.
and Bumo. That's better.
Good ball.
Great touch. Go on.
Your left.
It's a foul. Well, the best thing he could do there.
Ballon Dorgu says Destino to Portugal. Love it, Dorgu says Ross Murphy. Mount injured, says Amaya Kakali. Yeah, he went off after 90 minutes. As Finn said, it didn't look like it was a contact injury. It just looked like it was a pull of some sort, which is always a worry. We'll have to wait and see. People saying it's a penalty, it's a clear penalty. A lot of people saying about the push on
Feels like
Ahmad.
maybe if VAR was there, it's one that they'd at least look at.
I think he's been quite crafty, hasn't he? Because he sort of lent into him, gone like that. Like, I'm not fouling him.
Yeah.
And he's obviously got away with it.
They'll be taking risks that you wouldn't take if VAR was in play anyway. So
yeah. To be fair, VAR was in
different
play. I
game.
think we'd be down at 10 men anyway, because
Yeah.
Dorgu's Heaven's 2-footed challenge wasn't the best. And Boomo here. Oh!
Not far off at all.
That's 2 free kicks he's caught well.
Just getting him in before Bruno stops him taking any. Let's have a look.
Have you seen the one that Jim Thwaites...
free kick in the last game? Just watching the replay.
Oh, when it trickled.
The build up to that.
We're like, yeah, this is it. He should be on free kick there. Watch this now. And then it's just like woeful. And it almost goes in.
Have you seen the one that Thwaites scored against Ipswich in the last few days?
No, I haven't. Is it?
Yeah.
You'll be cheering.
Actually,
for
just silly.
Maguire.
How has he not scored that?
Mate, he just got under it. Is that Santos with the header?
He's blown for a free kick
What?
on someone.
Behave. Let's have a look at this now.
Is it offside? Is he given offside there?
Is it a foul on the keeper?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Never a foul.
That was soft, that. The keeper's just been crafty. I've just gone down watching this free kick from Brian and Bumo. It's going top bins, isn't it? It's a bit more floaty.
Yeah.
So the keeper's got lots of time to see it, get 2 hands to it. Well, not a bad effort.
Well in.
United have been much, much better.
I think we've been a better team this half, really.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
last 20 minutes.
Had more about us on the ball, for sure.
And we should be when you look at the lineups and who's on the pitch. This is a early pre-season lineup from PSG, isn't it?
Do we know when their season starts? So
No, I'm just
got a
making
bit
wild
longer.
assumptions, to be honest.
No, but they have only played one game before this, I think, against
Mallorca.
Yeah.
They get beat.
I think they lost.
Got beat 3-0.
Enrique's era of dominance has come to an end.
Well, they've got the Super Cup on Wednesday.
Oh, we are. Ahmad.
Square it.
Oh!
Hit it. That was
Come
really... Ahmad's got to do better there. Oh, good
Yeah,
tackle.
Ahmad, the pass wasn't great, was it?
And he left it.
It was on there.
He left it far too long, and then the pass itself was just...
that was a real opportunity, that.
Yeah.
Mason Lee says, we seem a lot more on the front foot in this style compared to last season. From what I've seen so far, playing with some form of ambition, I think, especially compared to last season. Thoughts?
This is PSG's last friendly.
Is it?
Yeah, they've got the Super Cup on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then they've got their own charity shield, and then the season starts.
So they're basically using those
So
games
they're ahead
as
of us.
pre-season. Wow.
To be fair, they only play 8 league games a season anyway. So, especially the PSG lot.
Here we go.
Good corner, that.
Oh.
I'm never tired of seeing Harry Maguire shouting A at referees.
It's what he does.
He does, doesn't he?
He's kind of gone too aggressive in his run there.
Yeah.
Kev Rosadino says, Heaven looks like he's starting this season.
I think he's got a good old chance.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what's happening with Lisandro
I don't
Martinez.
think his injury was too...
No, supposedly he
was it?
should be able to start the season. But honestly, I think Heaven's... I'm a huge fan of him. I think, he can really rival Lisandro Martinez even when they're both fit this season. I think he's that good.
It's definitely leapfrog Lenny Yoro, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that first season, obviously, Yoro did really well. And it's a shot from... Was that Ahmad?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Don't mind it.
Straight at the
Good to see
keeper.
him playing
But
with a bit of confidence, isn't it?
he got behind it, but he was straight at the keeper. Just mopping up here. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Look, Martinez is going to get an injury, isn't he? We don't know what's happening with De Ligt. So I think it's one of...
I do trust Martinez more
Maguire
at this point in time.
and Heaven.
If they're both fit. I think I can see the path for Heaven, and I think he's going to be a fantastic player. But even just that little moment that he gave you before with the giving the ball away and the rash tackle, he's still got that in his game. He's still only very young, so I don't think he's in any way ahead of Martinez.
No, I don't think. I think you're right. I think the only thing is with injury, isn't it?
But I think he will play a lot of games this year, and he should.
And I've still got a lot of...
You gotta remember, Maguire missed quite a lot last season. So.
Yeah. I've still got a lot of faith in Yoro. I know he's not had the best last 12 to 16 months or however long, but he's still got so much potential, and it's typical of young defenders to be very up and down, and development is rarely linear. So I think by no means should we be giving up on him either.
No,
if all goes to plan, you've got an unbelievable centre back partnership with those two. I know it's not always how football works out, but
I'll name this podcast later. It says Martinez brings so much more to the team. He's the best line-breaking passer we have, and his passion rubs off on his teammates. I do get that, and also how good he is under pressure. Like that first season, the amount of times De Gea just gave him the ball and he'd have like 2 attackers around him, whatever, and he'd just get himself out of trouble. Yeah, he was so confident and classy on the ball. He's just ridiculously good for a centre back on the ball.
I think Martinez starts when fit is not a criticism of.
No.
Martinez is one of the best in the league. He really is. It's just his injuries, isn't it? It's
easily one of the best centre
like
backs.
him coming back for that cup final against City was huge.
Ridiculous.
It was fucking huge. We do not win that without him. I know he ended up going. I think he didn't play the full game, but he was mint in that game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You definitely needed him. Mason Lee, welcome to the Academy. Thanks for all your super chats as well today, Mason. Thanks for supporting the channel. Don't forget as well to check out the merch. There's loads of merch up on the site. I'll put a little link.
I think a lot of the talk around Martinez as well over the past year or so has centred a bit around Amarim's system and how he might feature as the left side of a 3 and what that meant for his future.
Yeah.
But it's nice that we've passed that now.
Gone are those days.
Because he is so much more comfortable in a 2.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, dangerous ball there from me.
Good touch there from Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Just
sending it.
Not an easy one.
Yeah, there's a link in the chat to some merchandise. Help support the channel, and it's good stuff as well.
Quality garments.
Miles offside.
Danny O'Dynamo says Mount off injured. Our poor chap can't catch a break. Yeah. I agree. Someone asked how many Paddock members are there. Quite a lot. I think, and I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'll have to double check that. But there's a lot of Paddock members. Look, we appreciate anyone who watches the channel, but get extra content with membership, pre-season vlogs and all that, and it does help support the channel. We appreciate it.
It's a lovely community we've got.
It is, isn't it? It's a nice little community of United fans who love the club. PSG are just about 30 yards out trying to make something happen.
Doesn't look to be any added time.
I think I'm happy saying that United have been the better team.
100%.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think after that first sort of 5-10 minutes where we're a bit all over the gaff, we've grown into it, created some decent chances. Boom, obviously getting the goal. Should have done better, Ahmad, for the second opportunity.
Yeah.
Where it was on, but look, you can't grumble too much. You're playing, I know it's not the strongest side they've put out, but it's still the European champions, still probably the best team in the world. And we've been better than him, so no, I'm happy so far. Mason Lee says it's a real community, not a PR-driven one. Thank you, appreciate that.
It's just a shame we're paid by Ineos, isn't it?
I know. Well, James Cewson says congrats on getting Scott McTominay on the watch-along. Will you go back to your Scott McTominay G-Sun Park hybrid thing that you used to do?
Yeah, maybe mid-season.
That was a thing. What did you do?
I just had a really bad haircut.
He had a haircut like 2008 G-Sun Park.
Yeah. Just like a big mushroom of weight in the front.
It was great.
It was an interesting look.
I loved it. Listen.
It's hard figuring out your hair.
As someone who can't have hair,
Not that I
was jealous. But it was
a period of experimentation.
It was a thing, wasn't it, on socials for a while?
Yeah, there was one tweet in particular. Someone made like a little edit of putting McTominay and Ji-Sung Park together, and then the result was like a clip of me talking.
Yeah,
and I think it got like
30,000
likes and 5 million views or something like that. So
someone sent it to me in my
it's all
group
good
chat
fun though,
and was like, "Hey, ain't this your mate?" I was like, yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be going back to that trim.
How did you wear your hair back in the day?
Well, when I was at school, because
really
not long after school it started going on me. It just went up a little bit, to be honest with you.
Boxy one.
Yeah, it was like a nice little.
What's that called? High top.
Yeah, high top piece.
Yeah.
And then I was going to grow it and maybe do something with it, like dreads or something.
Yeah.
I was only 17 and then, didn't know any better. And I realised that I could see me thing through the mirror. I was like, I know what's happening. It's all my comb and everything. This when I used to use a comb. Obviously, that's how long ago it was. So I just had a skinhead, and I've stuck with it for the last 29 years.
To match your political views.
yeah. To match my far right views. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think about that performance. What do you think about the Mason Mount injury? That is quite important, isn't it? Because Mount has been viewed as an option this season in that deeper role. Played well alongside Andre Santos in the first few games, but the same old issue with Mason Mount at Manchester United. It's just injuries. Does this mean Manchester United need to act in the transfer window? We'll have to wait and see whether they do, but I think they should do. Who is the most impressive player in the first half? Says Mash Wapens. Tom, who was your man of the first half, if that's a thing?
Ahmad was busy. It's good to see. I'm struggling to pick out a standout, but obviously a nice assist for the goal. I like the fact when he had a chance to shoot a couple of times, he did. Want to see more of that. Santos, perhaps?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think quietly he's gone about his business very well. And this is the thing, he's one of those midfielders who won't necessarily be the standout player, but he keeps it simple, he keeps the ball moving forward, doesn't take too many touches, and I really like that about him. And he's also able to pick out passes you don't necessarily see. He anticipates players kind of dropping into the pockets before they have. I think sometimes you've got players in deeper areas who have to wait and see the player there to try and attempt the pass. I think he's very good at being on the same wavelength as the likes of Mbumo and whoever's up, in the higher areas, and anticipates them dropping into the areas, and then it's much easier for them to receive the ball with less pressure. Because if they're static when they're receiving in the pockets, then they're going to have someone on their back in half a second, and it's so much harder to keep hold of the ball. So he's got a really good appreciation for that.
Yeah, without doing anything super glamorous, everything that's gone through him has been pretty spot on and impressive. Like he
doesn't really make. Don't want to jinx him now. He doesn't make too many mistakes, does he? He's not someone. I think the criticism with Ugarte, and again, I don't want to just dig him out, but so many times when he came on last season, the performance dropped, and he'd make a mistake, or the midfield in general would feel less secure, and we'd end up throwing away a game, or I guess the season before last. But with Santos, you get the feeling that if he's going to be coming off the bench, if he's not necessarily starting, he's going to bring a level of kind of stability and security to the midfield, especially to see out, leads. I think he's going to be so good for that.
Yeah, I agree with basically what you lads have been saying. I think there's been some decent performances. I think Dorgu's done quite well. I think, despite that rash challenge that he made, we've seen some good stuff from Heaven.
On the ball, definitely, yeah. Couple really good switches. Yeah. There.
I think you've seen something from a lot of players, haven't we, where we've seen these little moments, and obviously with last 20 minutes we've been much better. Still, slight flaws, and some of the decision making hasn't been great, but on the whole it's been a decent performance from Manchester United.
We do need to have a conversation at some point about Tom Heaton's lack of pace, because it's
going to cost us.
Yeah, it is going to cost us this season if we don't sort it out.
There's lots of comments about my hair. Jay definitely had a mullet, says No Man Joe. Jay could grow a beard again, says Samsonite M.
You used to have a decent old beard, didn't you?
I grew a lockdown beard. It wasn't great, Finn. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got away with it because I grew it for so long. I grew it for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So I wasn't on camera much. So it was sort of like.
Well, I was shocked when I saw the 6 year anniversary picture.
Yeah.
You look completely different.
We sacked the social media guy Harvey. We've since rehired him. I think was it Harvey who posted that? It might have been Chris actually. We've since rehired him because he genuinely chose the worst picture of all four of us he could find.
I used to watch the channel back in the day, back in those days, and I don't remember you. In my mind, you've always looked like this, so it's quite a shock to the system.
I remember I had a beard and I grew it in lockdown. Because I thought, sack it. In lockdown, you're just bored.
Were you tidying it up? Were you using your oils and stuff?
Yeah, Mac had put me on some oils and stuff, so it was like, and I remember first month or so of the channel, Stretford Paddock, not Devils, I had it, and then I just shaved it off. I just thought, nah, you know what, I don't like it. Plus, I put on a load of weight. I'm not a vain guy, but I wasn't particularly enamoured when I saw myself on camera. And I certainly think, like everyone else on the channel, I think we've all had a bit of a midlife glow up. But yeah, it made me laugh because I shaved it off, and then I remember I was talking with McCall one day. after I shaved it off, and I mentioned like I shaved my beard off, and he went, "Oh yeah, I thought you looked different." But yeah, I think it's justified.
I was going to say who's had the biggest glow up, but Steve's done it right.
We can't lie, look, I've lost a bit of timber and shaved a beard. Stephen Howson's lost the equivalent weight of a person.
Yeah.
He's
done okay, hasn't he?
so much better. And the thing is, me and Steve were talking about this the other day, so we won't mind me saying, with all due respect, I didn't realise how bad he looked or how big he looked when we, back in the day. Because when you work with someone and he's your mate, I didn't think he looked that big. But you look, in retrospect, he was a big lad. He was a big lad. And we went to Vegas one of the pre-seasons, and there's this thing where you could stand on it, and if you weighed over, I think it was 350 pounds, you ate for free, which is a great idea, isn't it, from the Americans, like encourage obese people to eat more.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that big, and he'd lost a bit of weight
already.
Already, but the fact that we even considered he could be that way speaks volumes. But yeah, that was insane.
But it's the transformation that does that, though, isn't it? It's the side by side that makes you look back.
Yeah.
Which is.
Because I was looking for some old videos, little documentary making, and I look back on the videos and like, yeah. But it did him a favour, me being so big next to him as well on the brew, like early brew. We like, Jesus Christ,
noticeable.
Stress of the job over the years.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. Nomad Joe says, people have said it before, but it's true. Howson looks completely different. It's amazing. Yeah, you're right, but that's enough of praising.
Enough good things said about.
Tom Mayer says, Jay's black and white cheesecake. Yes, that's one of my recipes. Well, not my recipe, it's someone else's, but I do make the black and white cheesecake, the Oreo cheesecake. That's what I'm known for.
Is it your speciality?
Yeah. I've made it like 3 times in my life.
And you're known for it.
But my missus always mad moments back. Because I made it when we first got together. I made it. I didn't make it again for 12 years. And she's like, when are you going to make it? I made it about a year ago.
Bring it back.
Glad to see Mbumo amongst the goals again. It says, happy go Liam. Yep. Slick Vic says, how does Jay like his steak cooked? Medium. Yeah. Wow, what's wrong with that? Go on.
Ruining it by that point.
How are you having it then, Mr.
I think
Food Connoisseur?
Anything more than medium rare is just too far.
Really?
Yeah.
Chewing raw meat, medium rare, man. Smell you.
I almost do eat my steak like basically
really?
raw.
Was it fused or whatever it is when it's like they literally just put it on and just turn it over and go right there?
Blue. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think you take away from the flavour and the.
I end up chewing it for half an hour if it's too rare. Do you know what I mean? How do you have yours?
Vegan.
Yeah.
I've never had a steak in my life.
Really? So you was born a vegan?
I went veggie when I was 5.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, my own choice.
That's. Do you know what? For a 5-year-old, that is very impressive. Because my lad did that when he was about 7. He went veggie and it lasted a week. Because he went veggie and then his sister had a burger. And then he said, actually, you know what, I'm not doing that. Because I'm saying, do what you want, I'm not going to.
I think it's when I made the connection when my family was in Spain and they had a whole chicken and they were picking away at it. And I was like,
that's an animal.
That's chicken, isn't it?
Was it always the animal welfare side of it for you?
I think so, yeah.
I guess at 5 you weren't thinking about that.
It's food, really. It's been that long.
Yeah.
For like 12 years as well, so.
But
I can cook all right, so it makes a difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you know what it is? I'm not making excuses. And there are options as for families. I'm not saying, there's loads of families that are vegan or veggie, but it's just easier a lot of the time for us as a family to just cook everyone the same thing, like a spag bowl or whatever, and like, because none of us are really veggies, so I've never really not discouraged it. If one of my kids or my missus whatever was going to go vegan, more power to you. I've just not.
If you're the cook, you set the agenda.
And also with me, I always justify everything in my head with, I quit drink and drugs, so I'm allowed to eat meat. I quit drinking drugs, so I'm allowed to do sniff. I know. I mean, I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like the thing of like, can I eat burgers because I quit drinking drugs? Like, it justifies anything, which is completely irrelevant, by the way. I don't know. Never say never.
I'm not one of these like new militant vegans.
No, well, I've done quite a lot of content with you, got to know you quite well. I didn't realise you were, so it's certainly not like an agenda by any stretch of the imagination. But I think if you're going to eat your steaks rare, you may as well be a vegan anyway, Tom. Do you know what I mean? This guy, I don't know what he's on about.
I think I've gotten into vegan steak.
What's the best equivalent?
So there's a couple now, because I always used vegan food was shit, like going back. Now it's pretty mad, the stuff they're making.
Is it expensive?
It bleeds and everything. But no, I mean, I got 2 Like This Isn't is one of the good food brands.
Right, This Isn't.
For vegan like meat alternatives. And they do a steak, and I'm pretty sure it's like 35 grams of protein per steak.
Yeah, some of them are higher per weight than
so it's a relatively clean one compared to like some of like the Richmond ones that are all just a bit shitty processed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. Like,
what do they use? Is it tempeh?
Well, some will be soy based.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chinese have been eating like meat alternatives for centuries.
Yeah,
it's like gluten based stuff.
Yeah.
Where they, there's a lot out there.
There's a lot of pea protein alternatives now, aren't there? That's meant to be one of the most like bioavailable proteins of the vegetarian
a lot of like
options.
shakes and stuff will be made from it, pea protein and that. But anyway.
Guts Doyle says, I love everything I'm seeing in this game. Burger in. He means Sander Burger, not a burger.
Not a veggie burger.
Vlad Che 9092 says, someone rubs Jay's head for good luck for the season. Go on, Finn. Just rub my head for good luck for the season. Thank you, sir. There you go. We're going to win the lot now.
Yeah.
We've done it. You don't need tactics.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
I think Carrick's probably rubbing Mazraoui or Mbumo's head before each game.
Yeah. Marcel Francis has asked this several times, and if he keeps asking it, I'm going to put him in a timeout. What are your opinions on Mount and a third midfielder? I think Mount cannot be relied upon because of his injury record, not because of his performances. I do think we need a third midfielder. I felt that anyway, even before Mount got injured today, because you cannot have the same number of midfielders going into a season where you could be playing 60 games as you had in a season where you just played 40 games. That's my opinion.
Is there a realistic midfielder you think available now that's going to cost a lot of money that we would or should go for? Because obviously a lot of options have been taken up now with Rodri going to, looks like Barcelona. Tchouaméni is probably off the table. In terms of who is available, such as your Alex Scott.
Yarmouk.
I mentioned Yarmouk.
Okay.
I mentioned Sander Berger in a video me and you did, didn't I?
Yeah.
We all had to pick a couple of midfielders. Played very well against us last season.
Yeah. Stood out against us.
Yeah, 22, I want to say.
Yeah, he's young, he's athletic, gives a reliable standard of performance every week in the Premier League. Every time I watch him, I'm impressed. Again, he's not going to set the world alight, but I think if you're looking for someone who can be a part of that squad rotation, I think he'd be a good signing. And, it would kind of fit the Ineos bill of being not necessarily your biggest name, but someone who's functional and the correct profile. I like him, but to be fair, the options in the market have kind of dwindled. So I think we've
there isn't really an 80 million option worth going for at this point in time.
Joshua Zirkzee looks like he's getting involved in the half-time chat. Oh no, he's not. He's warming up. I thought he was just coming over to chat to him then.
Loose pass.
At Stuttgart, came out Andre, or however you pronounce his name, Andres.
Coming back out, by the way.
But he's very, very young. But people compare him to a bit of a young Rodri kind of profile. He's like 6'4", very well kind of tempered and very mature in the midfield. But again, not someone who's kind of ready to hit that level instantly.
Heaven Soul saying, I still think we should go for that still a release clause. What is it with that though? Isn't there like a weird thing with it where
I just don't think he's good enough.
Yeah, but there's a release clause, but they can get him to sign a new deal or something, or there's something wrong with his release clause. It's not as straightforward as there's the money you pay. It's like if you match their release clause, they can alter it or something, which makes it not a release clause to me. I don't know. I remember looking at it. It wasn't as open and short. Marco 70 says my missus went vegan years ago. Apparently,
I did. I've moved into a new place recently.
Diogo Dalot is coming on,
and with a friend of mine who's pescatarian. Okay. So we've been doing a lot more non-meaty cooking. And you know what? I've gone like 2 weeks with it. I have had bits when I'm out, but it's not too hard. There are good alternatives out there. Just eat 1 trillion chickpeas a day.
I've just found myself over the years, like just getting quite into cooking. Bit of Asian, bit of Mexican, bit of different. I've become a better cook than when I was veggie.
Yeah.
Because when I was veggie, I feel like I could eat cheese, pizza, and stuff, and it was just I'd eat the same stuff. Going vegan was a bit more of a challenge. Bear in mind we're going back like over 10 years. But it just made me such a better cook.
Yeah.
So.
And I think there are, in almost every cuisine, they're not completely reliant on meat options. I think there's always good veggie alternatives in a range of cuisines. So
like Southeast Asian food, like they use a lot of tofu, and a lot of there's not really a big reliance on like dairy and stuff or eggs. So
the one thing I couldn't live without if I went like vegan, is milk.
Milk.
Yeah, big milk drinker.
Yeah.
Good for your bones.
I think dairy is a funny one for people, isn't it? It's a real...
I don't know, you never say never, because I got told by the doctors to cut sugar down. And I used to love sugars in my brew, and I used to love a mocha. So I stopped drinking mochas, and then I stopped having sugar in my
How many
brew.
sugars would you have?
I'd have 2. So
That's
I weaned
alright, isn't
myself
it?
off it. But you think about it, I mean, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 brews a day as well. So it's like 16 spoonfuls of sugar. It's quite a lot when you add it up.
Yeah.
But I just weaned. I went down to like 1.5, then to 1, then to half sugar, then to none. And now I love my coffee without sugar.
Same.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, could I do that with milk? Like, is it, you know what I mean? Because there's a time when I said, oh, can't have a brew without sugar. But by the second half started, but we're talking about more important things. So yeah, never say never. I'm always aware that.
I think oat milk's lovely in a coffee, like the barista one.
Yeah.
It's almost, I think sometimes
That's the thing,
dairy can be a
yeah.
little bit heavy sometimes.
My missus tricked me once as well. She made a brew with oat milk, and then
Didn't
I was
realise.
quick to tell me how I didn't realise. That's a great tackle, Harry Maguire.
There we go.
By the way,
Just gonna nip through.
Finn, will you get me a Pepsi Max Cherry out of the fridge, please?
Oh, is there
Thank
another one
you.
going?
No, well, there's only one.
There's
Sorry.
another one. That's all right, don't worry about
Sorry. Kevin Rodinho says Jesper Blomqvist. Yeah, we saw him.
Tom, do you want water or anything?
Oh, no, I've got a bit of water in it. Who's come off? Because it's Dallo and Euro who's come on.
Who's come off? Euro?
Heaven for Yoro, and who for Dallo? Was it Mazraoui?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just updating the team.
Thank you, sir. So, a few changes now. That's 3 changes in total, I think, is it, for United, with Fletcher coming on for Mount in the first half, and then Yoro and Delo coming on for Heaven and
happened there?
Mazraoui. Why has Harry Maguire done that? He's just booted
I
the
think,
ball. Tom Eaton's got looks like his hamstring or something. He's rubbing the back of his leg. Yeah, Heaton on the floor there. So who's on the bench, keeper-wise? Heath and me, and it looks like
It's
me.
me.
Yeah, not me, but me.
Looks nothing like you, Jay.
Watching this, I think he's pulled his
straight
leg,
away.
kicking it. It's kind of mad that Tom Eaton plays like 3 games a season and he's going to miss half of one of them because he's injured. But we love Tom Eaton, so I'm not knocking him. It's mad.
Where's Darlow at?
Yeah,
Like,
he's probably
he'd be
like,
away.
yeah,
Like, he's not had anything to be away
I don't
for.
know. I don't know what's going on there. But I presume Darlow is training. But it looks like Dips or DP, sorry, 89Z says, did he talk to your kids once? It's a reference to Alec Bandit. To be fair, Tom Eaton did talk to me some once as well, and he was very nice. Gonna lose a yard of pace, isn't he? Says 3 Dog. Yeah. So, yeah, a bit of a surprise. It's not very often you see the goalkeeper coming off, and a goalkeeper that barely plays anyway. But Tom Eaton obviously picking up a knock now. It looks like it could have been his hamstring. Darlow has a knock, apparently, says Mr. Chainsaw 182. There you go then. Me coming
Binder's
on.
gone, hasn't he?
Yeah, Binday has gone.
Anana's gone.
Anana's
so we
gone. Is that Anana back to Trabzonspor, was it?
Yeah.
So we could be down to one
And it
senior
was
goalkeeper.
Celta Vigo for Alec Binday. So them 2 are out. Darlow in. Kit Margetson in as well as another option, a free transfer, I think. And now you've got Dermot Mee, obviously, who's currently between the sticks for Manchester United.
Bloody hell, Dalla. Struggled to get that under control and then just pops it into the midfield and we lose the ball.
Jesus. Oh, we didn't need to do that then. You get the ball? No, it's a foul. Steve M asking, has he done his coaching badges? I'm not sure. It's a good question, that. So we've lost Tom Eaton to injury since you've been away. Dermot Mee coming in. Thank you, sir.
What kind of injury?
Looked like maybe his hamstring.
frustrating.
Marlow United says Berger is okay, but he's 28. Get Cooney.
I'm not convinced with Cooney. I think it'd be, you spend a lot of money and...
It's the injuries. I like him as a player, but he's really struggled with injuries over the years, and
I don't trust anything from Serie A.
yeah, I think Serie A's fallen off so much that
Do you
the
want...
jump is too big for almost any player.
I'm sorry, honestly, no.
Sure.
I don't know, I just thought maybe I had some cans or something. No, honestly.
Yeah, your glass if you want that. Just split this.
No. You enjoy.
Don't drink it all at once.
I know what you're doing, Finn, and I don't like it. Finn spiked the drink, says Stephen Ballantyne. Cooney has a few injuries as well, says Hornbill-Shear. Yeah, there was a few questions about his injury record. I don't know, the Cooney one feels like it's a bit media-driven or fan-driven even. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot in it.
Agent side.
Yeah, what are you saying, Finn? Is it... Feel like there's any fire to that smoke?
I think he's someone that the club have probably looked at, but he doesn't rank particularly highly on their lists. And I think there are several other players they'd go for before him. Basically, I think he's someone that we probably appreciate from a distance, but it's no more than that.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
I think he's a very achievable signing because he's playing in Serie A, playing for Roma, and he just so happens to have started for France in this World Cup, which has put him on the radar. I'm like, oh, there's an option. I don't think it's realistic.
Get Wharton in, says the original armour.
Yeah, maybe. I think if Carrick wants to go to if Carrick wants to go to the real extreme of just having real kind of in possession focus from his midfielders, then maybe Wharton becomes more appropriate there. But I think this third midfielder doesn't necessarily have to be a Baleba or a Rice in terms of that elite level ground coverage, but you still want them to be a bit robust, a bit physical, and be able to cover the ground to a decent extent. I do think Sander Berger's a good option. I don't think his age is too much of a limiting factor there. We've just signed Tielemans, who is 29. Arsenal have just signed Bruno Guimaraes. I think there's a place for these signings, and I think he's still playing at a level where he could be at a much better club than he is. And I think people associate with him with not being as quick or physical. His top speed is absolutely rapid over the long distances. He's clocked, I think, one of the highest top speeds in the Premier League last season.
I think for the right price, he does make this squad better now.
Yeah. He'd feel a bit like if we want to look at what Arsenal have done, he'd be a bit of a Norgard or a Marino type of signing. I think there's a place for that kind of player in your squad.
No, I completely agree. When we were doing our midfielders a month ago on Paddock podcast, my two choices were Berger and Yarmouk. So, I get where you're coming from, Finn. I think the idea of someone being, too old at 28, it's a bit old school, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just is, especially for what you need. I get it if you're sort of trying to build something just for the future and it's like, you haven't got a lot of dough and all the rest of it. But if you're like United, where you're in a real opportunity here, I just keep going back to it. The way our rivals are, the sort of the fact that you've got so many new managers at clubs this summer, and the fact that we've got a real good team. I think our team is outstanding. I just think it's the squad. I think it's an opportunity.
We've got two young central midfielders. You don't want to overload with.
Yeah, that's a good point. You get someone in with experience who can come into the team straight away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who knows?
I think the age concerns are only.
It's a great ball.
Really,
by the way.
that's really good. The age concern. Go on, Boomer. Go on. Go on.
Oh, he did really well there.
I thought he might play Ahmad in. Is that Ahmad?
Yeah. On the left there.
Yeah.
Still alive. Bad touch by Luke Shaw.
Go on, Dorgu's still
have
there.
it.
Do something with it. Come on.
He's running into trouble, bro.
Not with too much. No, I was just going to say about the age, I think it's only valid when they've already started to show a bit of a decline. If they're 28, 29 and it's clear that their best years are behind them, then maybe then you say, right, do we really want to sign a player
and if you're going to drop big money as well, it's going to be more critiqued, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that Tielemans is just the perfect example of how to go about signing a slightly older player the right way.
No, it's a bit...
Stay
in there.
He meant that.
Yeah, of course they do. Switch it to play.
Yeah.
Can we have a little bit of volley, please? It's Diogo Dalot. All inside here. Bumo to Ahmad?
Oh.
No, it's too much on it there for the pass there. A couple of people mentioning about Hendrick.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
maybe.
It's been interesting.
It's the type of signing that would kind of make sense for a lot of the relevant parties involved. I think he's a profile that we could probably benefit from. Again, a bit of a striker-winger hybrid. And, you know, he did really, really well in the second half of the season on loan in France. But would he hack it in the Prem? I'm not sure at the moment.
There's a super chat here. It says it's Mal United. I think I read the Berg hero is okay, but he's 28. Get Cooney one from him. He's done another one where he says number one in the Anderson replacement comparison was Anderson. 2 and 3 was Felix Nemecha and Leon Avdulahu. Do you know anything about Avdulahu?
How are we spelling that?
Sorry, I'm probably me just butchering his name. This is the kid from Offenheim.
I'm not very
Say
familiar.
kid.
Can't say.
22.
No, I can't say I'm familiar.
Plays for Kosovo. Don't know a lot about him myself. Don't know if you did.
Sign him.
Yeah, get
Get him in.
Who did Finn say for third midfielder? Question mark. Who did you say?
With the options left, I think I agree with what you said. Yarmouk and Sanderberg are
Yeah.
both decent options. If we're not going to shell out 80, 90 million. I do think Felix Nemecha, if that was in any way viable, would be an interesting thing to explore. But at the price that I think Dortmund would quote, it's just not.
I'm still
Not
burned by Dortmund, me.
Yeah.
Every signing we've had from him's just not done what it says on the tin.
It's very rare that a signing from them or like the Red Bull group really turns out to be as good as hoped. I think Haaland's the only one that really comes to mind recently as someone who really hit the levels they were expected to, and that's just, I mean, it's Haaland, isn't
I
it?
think Germany's miles off.
Yeah, Germany and Italy.
When you look at someone like Haaland or Bellingham or whatever, they're like
Bellingham, of course,
generational.
Yeah.
I don't use that word
yeah.
lightly. They were looked at as unbelievable players that were going to smash it, and they left Dortmund really young. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, Sancho probably was that level when he was in Germany. I mean, the only comparisons in terms of his output were Mbappe and Messi.
36 goal involvements in 39 games is sort of burning into my brain for that last season at Dortmund.
They had no real power with them moves, though. It was almost like you move here. The move away was already being planned in terms of how the deals were structured and the release clauses and stuff. So it was only ever going to be a stop for a year or two to develop.
Yeah.
I don't think Germany really holds that power in the market at the moment, and a lot of the players that do come in can be a disappointment.
Yeah. Sesko is going to break the Red Bull group curse, though.
So,
Yeah, 100%.
I've got such high hopes in him, honestly. I think if he stays fit, he's going to be fantastic for
but
many
I'd
years
put
to
him
come.
more in the Haaland and Bellingham bracket in terms of how his career was mapped.
Quite planned out, yeah. Whereas I guess you look at Sancho, and when he left City, he was very high. He was extremely highly rated, but he wasn't an established first teamer at City or someone that was like nailed on to be a top level player at that age.
It's mad that most of the sort of negative stories as well about Sancho came out after we'd signed him.
Yeah.
But the retrospective ones of like, well, at Dortmund actually they roomed him with Haaland because Haaland's professionalism rubbed off on him.
Yeah, good influence.
And he had a few issues with coming training late and spending too much time back in England and all the rest of it. And you're like, great.
Yeah.
That's just a massive red flag, isn't it, when you're spending that amount of money?
Due diligence again.
I was never quite impressed with Sancho when he played for England.
No.
when
he was killing it at Dortmund, and you get glimpses of him, and I was like, it's not really.
He had the one good game in the Euros when it was at Ukraine.
Yeah,
where he was
yeah,
really
that
good.
one like
Man of the
dribble
match.
and
But other than that, you're right. I mean, I didn't watch England as much then because like a lot of those games were qualifiers and stuff, and I only tend to watch England in tournaments. But I think he never got himself into that team.
No.
Had he? And he had the worst sort of scenario as well for that, didn't he? Where he was like brought on and missed the penalty for the final. It's like a nice one.
just before joining United.
I know, and everyone was just hammering him. And Rashford, he's just like, fucking, this is just what we didn't want to happen.
I keep forgetting about Rashford.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because he's not Oh, I
Oh,
thought he'd scored then. Me had it covered.
did you?
Nice, yeah. So trying to do some sort of faux Jamaican accent there, isn't it? Me had it covered.
Oh, not a bad effort that. Far off. Ooh,
Bringing the changes.
here come the
Well,
big boys for
they're bringing out
PSG.
the big guns.
Okay.
Neves coming on, Vitinha, Nuno Mendes. Who else is on there? Marquinhos. Oh, mate. Fucking hell.
All four of the top players that they can bring on.
Yeah, this is
Best
it.
four. Are we going to bring ours on?
Yeah.
Who have we got? Bruno, Tielemans.
I want to see Tielemans.
Yeah, anything you can do, we
surely
can do
that's-
slightly not as good.
We can do better.
I think Tielemans will be one of them players that you look back and you think he's drifted around. No disrespect to the clubs that he's played for, but kind of second tier clubs for way longer than he should have done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really excited about that signing. I know you are as well, aren't you, Finn?
Yeah. I think he's going to be class, and again, just like the exact right profile for
Bruno's
what
there.
Carrick's attempting to do.
There you go. You can bring on a Portuguese midfielder, so can we, mate.
We'll bring on a better one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't like you fucking pipe and smoke it. Bruno coming on. Marlow United says, why left winger when we have Rashid, Dorgu and Cunha? Well,
Two of those.
we'll have to
aren't.
wait and see. But I don't know. It's all up in the air a little bit, innit? We don't know quite what Carrick's feelings are on Rashford. There's still part of me that feels like, is this just PR? Because you don't want to say, oh, well, he's no good to us, he's useless, we don't want him. Or do you genuinely see him as someone you're going to play this season, you trust and can rely upon? I don't know. Is the
I think
honest
him
answer.
moving on felt like the right thing, and I'd made my peace with it.
Yeah.
And so for it to come back, I feel like you're taking a bit of a risk on. It's a very different. It's a very different job he had out there playing at Barcelona.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't look at that and think, okay, he's ready to come back.
Yeah, I hear you. There's a few Barca fans who follow online, and I don't think it was quite the, it was an amazing season. How, why has he not got the permanent deal? It's a good season, obviously helps him win the Liga, so, don't be too critical, but there's a few Barca fans that understand why they didn't try and keep him. So we'll just have to wait and see, man. I don't know.
I think he was a good option for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be
I don't
fair,
think he was ready to.
There's a look. If he
Make
stays, if he does stay, right, and Carrick, has a word with him and he can get a tune out of him, then Marcus Rashford can do a job for you if he's up for it.
Yeah.
Like, let's not kid ourselves. You know what I mean? And especially in the Champions League,
Here
here
we
is
go.
Yuri Tielemans coming on for his Manchester United debut. Remember this date,
And
lads. 8th of
Xerxes,
August,
Amas.
2026.
Xerxes, Amas, Jack Fletcher, and Bruno as well. I think what you're saying about Rashford, I think even if he's not, even if he does come back and he doesn't set the world alight, he could still just be a useful option in that squad. It depends how you frame your expectations of him, but I think if he was able to have a similar impact at United in this season that he did at Barca, then that's still a valuable profile, a valuable bit of output that you can add to your front line. And I think it's not perfect, and it's
Player
not
that can
what
win your matches.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not what everyone had planned, but I think far worse things could happen than having Marcus Rashford back at the club.
No, we just need him to be up for it. We need him to be focused on United, and we just don't need any, off the pitch stuff creeping in.
Yeah.
If he's going to stay, do the job we know you can do. Well, let's see that Marcus Rashford. And look, there'd be no one happier if Marcus Rashford was able to play a part in United's success this season. I really would. I'd be buzzing. It'd be, such a great comeback, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think, the sentimental part of me would like to think that there's no better version of Marcus Rashford out there than the one that should be in a United shirt.
Yeah.
As a player that's grown up in the system, has come through every rank at the club.
Should have been a one-club man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that about Danny Welbeck as well.
I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
broken.
And there's been
dream.
several
The dream's
points
over.
where I thought he would come back,
I know.
and it hasn't happened.
Apparently, it nearly happened a couple of years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
He
We
was
tried.
available for free, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Brighton got him for free, is that right?
yeah, but it was like, I think he wanted a 2-year deal and the club were balking at it because at the time he was like 33. And now he's just signed a 2-year deal at Chelsea at 35, having had his 2 best ever Premier League seasons. It's just like, that was our title win.
Selling him to Arsenal.
I know, man.
Horrible.
So it's Tielemans and Tyler Fletcher in the midfield. Jack Fletcher on the right, is it? Bruno in the 10. Has Lacey gone off to the left? Is that him?
Let's not really get on that, is it?
Who was in the orange boots on the left?
Yeah, I think it is Lacey on the left.
Right.
He can play there.
Seen lots of old
Here's one for
academy
you.
highlights of him playing on the left.
Ali Jaba 1111 says, question to the panel, when was the last time a United player left on loans and came back and turned it around?
Diogo Dallo, if you count it as turning it around.
David Beckham. I don't
Ahmad,
know.
Ahmad, yeah.
if you can say turn it around, because he left quite young, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it was
Oh,
quite
yeah,
the
I guess
same.
it depends what you mean, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
because Rashford leaving at 26 or whatever is slightly different than Ahmad or Dallo or whoever leaving at or
Lingard.
Beckham, you know, when they're in the teens.
I'm thinking of someone where
like,
the game was up for them
yeah,
and they've come back
that's,
and
doesn't really happen that often, does it, where someone leaves after they've played a load of games for United?
What was Dallo's situation like? I feel like Dallo wasn't really in the picture very much when he did go off on loan, didn't
No.
he? He wasn't favoured by Ollie.
No, he wasn't. So he...
Dallow's definitely
Feels like
one.
he's
he
the-
was proper first team when he left on loan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh dear. So he went on loan to Milan in 2021, and he played
He was quite good there.
30 games for United before then, or
Yeah.
like, you know, not 20 odd. 30. He played 34 games, I think, for United. So he wasn't, you know,
Yeah,
sort of a regular or a starter.
yeah.
Had one season, then came back, and then has pretty much been a first team player ever since. Although he's had spells where he's not necessarily been the first choice right back when Wan-Bissaka was here, for example, but he has been, you know, a member of the first team squad, if that makes sense.
It's funny, he played, I think when he was at Milan, he played left back most of the time, didn't he?
Yeah. He's done alright when he's played left back.
Yeah.
I think the loan market's changed a lot since, certainly 20 years ago, players weren't routinely spending time out on loan
No.
like they are now.
Yeah.
Like they'll spend, 2 or 3 years of a contract. Do you think Barcola leaves?
I think the fee that PSG are going to want is quite extravagant, and I would be surprised if Liverpool went up that high. But then again, we've seen them do it a few times now, and I think they do feel they seem a little bit desperate.
Yeah. Do they see like a raw player in there that they think could?
I think that's the idea, isn't it? That he's maybe someone who's on the verge of kind of knitting it all together and becoming that world-class left winger. I like him, but I'm not. How often do you actually get someone who has a big weakness in their finishing, for example, that is actually able to kind of consistently become a really good finisher? It's quite rare that happens, because I think it's
maybe
who?
Maybe Raheem Sterling. There was a player that sometimes they talked about his final product and his finishing, and
That's true.
he did have some big goal scoring seasons. But yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah. But we'll see. I do think he's a very good player, and he's someone that
What's
that's
happened there?
good turn.
Yoro covering well there. Who played that pass and I missed?
I think it was Tyler Fletcher.
Tyler Fletcher, right.
I want to see Tielemans getting on the ball as much as possible in these last 20 minutes. It's a good ball.
Well done.
Look at that. Lovely.
Oh,
what a ball.
Oh,
Fucking hell.
oh, hey, oh.
no, absolutely not.
Hit it. Oh, why have you not hit it from there? Go on.
Oh, mate, should have had a dig.
The referee did well there because I think he knows he's out of position.
Yeah.
He almost tried to fake a bit of a head injury, and the
Yeah,
referee was having none of it. That's good. Oh, could he have shot instead of playing it? Oh. I was looking at the goalkeeper, I didn't really. I wasn't looking at Xerxes.
I think he might have got caught on his his
Yeah.
chest or. Tielemans did really well to hold the ball
Yeah.
up there and get it moving forward.
Oh.
I think he just got caught on his shoulder, or yeah.
Is that the
I think
real?
he should have just had a dig.
I
from
think
Is that
so,
the real
yeah.
Radek Vitak account?
Oh, maybe. Oh, side of the head.
Yeah.
Right. Just seen a Radek Vitek post on Twitter where he's quoted his announcement video to Middlesbrough, and he said, I wanted to clarify what I meant by stepping stone. I just want to assure everyone that I've not meant that in any negative way. The point is, this comment was that it's very important step in my career going forward. I can't wait to get started. So I presume at some point he said this is a great stepping stone for me, and people took offence. Presumably Borough fans. I mean,
Easy one to to.
Is he talking about United as a stepping stone, or
oh, sorry. I thought it was.
could be either though?
The first comment I saw was a Borough fan saying, "Don't worry about it,"
Right.
kind of thing.
That's a bit mad if he
No
said
need to
is the club
apologise.
he's just moved to as a stepping stone.
If it's not his native language. It's
Yeah.
next going from
that's gone
playing
through the-
academy and play loan moves to
Yeah,
your
true.
first contract. It's like a step, isn't it?
It's
a big
more
step.
more on the media team of
Yeah.
Borough to not let that slip through.
True.
But
I think we're very harsh on
wordings and
wordings when it's not a first language.
Yeah. Well done, ref. And Jantu. Oh, go on. Is he on?
Looks like it.
Touch. It's just not going to work, that, is it? Oh, Xerxes.
It's hard in the modern day, isn't it, to watch things like that and think you can be a success without a little bit of pace or sharpness in your game, which is the way he moves around the pitch.
PSG's keeper almost just dribbled it into his own net.
Bit of entertainment there. Pre-season entertainment is what you want to see.
I don't think the subs on either side have really changed the game very much.
No. Go on, Addy. Go on, son. All the way. Take the piss. For a
his
split
left
second,
as well.
yeah. Well, it did look like the goalkeeper was underneath that. Harry Maguire there, running through the defence,
Tranmere-esque.
Yeah, unleashing a left-footed shot that the keeper was
Equal to.
Yeah, that's the one.
This is why pre-season's fun. You barely see any of those efforts now. Sometimes you want a centre-back to just leather it from distance.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know what I mean? Never mind all this tick-attack shite. Just put your foot through it.
Daniel Agger, he always had it in his locker, didn't he? You know, when he crossed the halfway line, he'd have a look.
What's the best goal you've ever seen scored by a centre-back?
Mex says, I think. Was it AC Milan? Was it the overhead kick in the Champions League?
Just before my time, or?
Is it? I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'd say so.
Is their goalkeeper going off as well? Is this pretty planned? Yeah, I think he
did really
flying into Joshua Zirkzee.
catch a bit there, didn't he? Young keeper coming on for PSG, I think.
Yeah, that one. Off the top of my head.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
What the
Not
hell
bad.
is that?
Not bad for a centre-back.
Ridiculous.
Not
yeah.
bad.
Hey.
Maybe a David Luiz free kick or...
Ridiculous. Yeah. What about Man United centre back?
I feel like we don't...
I mean, I was there when Bruce got them two against Sheffield Wednesday with their headers. They're not like the best goal you've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're just probably the most
Tell you
important.
what was amazing, like how many goals did he score? It was like 18 goals.
He scored 9 goals in a season.
Unbelievable.
Mark Hughes had
Centre-half.
to nick that one off line.
Yeah.
Would have had 20.
Wow.
That doesn't get
all
talked about enough.
Well, that's mental.
All
Isn't it?
comps or...
Yeah.
For a centre half.
There was a time when I think it was only until recently Kevin De Bruyne hadn't scored 9 goals in a season.
Yeah.
Like up to I think he did it like 3 years ago. It was mad. Obviously he took penalties, but he was so good in the air and so good in the opposition box.
Ronald Koeman was like that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good at free kicks as well. Koeman obviously scored against United in the Cup Winners' Cup final. I'm trying to think of a really good centre back goal I've seen.
At United.
Yeah, there must be a few.
Company.
What, Maguire
was a
Tranmere is the
fantastic
only
goal,
recent one that...
I remember Gary Pallister scored a free kick against Blackburn.
Lissandro scored a couple last season, didn't he?
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
Deflected one, was it against Liverpool?
Fulham
From distance.
deflected.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
Did he score one against Liverpool?
Yeah, but that was the
Yeah, he
one
put it into the
rifled
roof of the
top
net.
corner,
Yeah.
Do you remember when Eric Bailly posted on his socials the own goal he scored?
What a man. I miss him so
I
much
miss
just for
Eric
the
I
entertainment.
think in terms of natural raw ability, he's as good as any
easily-
centre back I've ever
easily up
seen.
there.
Like
some of
genuinely,
the stuff he'd do in his own box.
yeah, like he was so good, but he was just mad injury prone and a
Yeah.
bit mental. But it didn't matter because he was mental, but he got himself out of jail with the ability he had. But he was just, you couldn't rely on him because he just kept getting injured. Like that season under Ollie where we finished second, if he'd have stayed fit, we'd have had a bet. Not saying we would have won the league, but we'd have had a much better chance.
Yeah.
Because we were flying when he was playing.
It did feel like every time he came into the team, we were just...
Yeah.
We won 5 on a spin, then he got injured and we fell off. But yeah, he was so good, Eric Bailly, naturally just mental and just injury prone. I'm trying to think of it. Get involved in the chat, let us know. Oh, yeah, I mean, these are like Scott Hassel says, oh shit, Anfield. Again, not the most amazing goal you've seen, but in terms of the moment, Raphael Screamer says, full name plug here. John O'Shea scored a great goal against Arsenal as well, didn't he? If you remember.
Scored in the Champions League as well, didn't he, against Arsenal?
Yes.
In that first leg.
Martin Buchan says Wayne Francouz 1978 versus Everton.
For my time.
Maguire versus Leon, lads, FFS says Mason Lee.
Yeah.
Again,
of course, it's a phenomenal moment.
but the
it's
quality
the
of the
moment,
goal
innit? We're
we're
not
looking
so
for.
like that's the problem. Like
Yeah.
it's the
Someone chipped the keeper or volley one in from 30 yards.
Dribble past 10 players and then...
Yeah.
Daily Blind versus Liverpool, the Schweinsteiger game. Jay.
I'm having Blind as a midfielder.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
innit? It's like where did they play? They did play at centre back. Sometimes they didn't play there though. I can't even think.
Go on.
Oh, see what he's trying to do there.
Still think it was a
Should have.
not the right pass to play it along the floor like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember Christopher Samba against Spurs?
Yeah.
White Hart Lane.
Well,
Someone said
Tielemans-
Company against Leicester, not obviously not United.
Great goal, yeah.
Yeah, I
Stopped
didn't.
the Scousers winning the league, so I was quite happy about it, even though I don't like City.
I didn't want to mention Company, but that is up
Yeah.
there with any.
I'm trying to think. United one.
What's his name for Chelsea? Alex. He's taken the free kicks, didn't he?
Yeah.
Centre half. Yeah.
David Luiz scored a few, didn't
Lindelof done anything nice? Because he scored a belter of a free
Few
kick.
people saying Rio versus Liverpool.
I suppose that's up there, isn't it? Better than anything I've suggested.
Jagielka versus Liverpool, that was a goal, remember that
yeah.
one?
Just going through every centre half in my life.
That's what I was doing. I was trying to think.
Did Rojo do anything? He had a
Yeah.
good left foot. Gabriel Enter.
Ever versus Bayern, he weren't a centre back.
No,
was he?
yeah.
I was at that game, but he weren't a
Great
centre back.
goal. Yeah.
Unbelievable goal, but
I remember chatting to him about that when he went to his book signing.
oh,
And
yeah.
he was saying, because I said, like, we were still celebrating your goal when they scored. He said, so were we. He said,
Go on, Bruno.
we are.
Oh.
I thought he passed it into the goal
tricking in,
there.
Touch there now. Oh.
He said, I remember thinking, why is Manuel Neuer celebrating with us? And he wasn't, he was getting the ball and getting it going again.
That was crazy, that, because it was 1-1 from the first leg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That put us ahead.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And then within 3 minutes.
It was like, I was there literally, and I remember seeing, I think it was a Vidic, like, 2-on-1. You think, oh God, he's in trouble there. So shit that he was in all that, but we were doomed anyway. I think Rooney was injured and all sorts was going on in that game. That was a Danny Welbeck chip in that first leg, wasn't it? Do you remember?
When he's through in it, yeah.
Oh, mate.
Some painful memories over the past
I know.
10 years. That was such a funny season, that under Moyes. What score did we beat by Leverkusen?
5-0.
Yeah.
You know. How often do you win in the Champions League 5-0? It's like when Antonio Valencia scored absolute worlder.
You know, Leipzig under Solskjaer 5-0 behind closed doors though. So
Still counts.
That was
The
that
Rashford hat-trick.
Yeah.
Rashford hat trick.
Is that when he sat
quickest
Upamecano
hat-trick
on his
in
arse?
yeah.
Yeah.
By a
Was-
substitute.
Sorry?
Quickest hat-trick.
Yeah, quickest.
Quickest hat-trick by
yeah.
a substitute. That was the only hat-trick for us, wasn't it, Marcus?
Was it?
I think.
Yeah, never scored one in the Prem, did he?
Because everyone used to go on about that.
Yeah.
Do you remember Ronaldo's first hat-trick?
I was at that game, Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
It was 1-0 at half-time, wasn't it? Or 0-0
Yeah,
or 1-0.
yeah,
and then
it
we-
was. I remember him scoring a free kick under the
Yeah.
wall. He'd sit under the wall. See, everyone goes on like it's all new, you know, the draft excluder thing.
Oh, go on.
I think
He's
off,
not going to
yeah.
get there anyway, is he?
I'm lucky that I saw a Ronaldo hat trick at Old Trafford before he retired against Norwich, though.
So of all the things we fumbled in the Glazer years, especially under like Tevez.
I know.
Tevez, I was heartbroken about.
I know. He was so good
I
for
was,
us.
I loved.
And we could have
watching
kept
that
him.
front three.
We could have kept him. All we had to do was just give him the wages that he wanted.
And it
We
seemed
weren't having it.
insane not to, because like that was a front three to be feared across
Yeah.
Europe, and we let him go to the neighbours.
I think we got carried away with the fact that his second season wasn't as prolific as his first, and people maybe feel he just had a little bit of not a fallout with him, but the relationship had gone a bit sour on it, and I think we just sort of ignored the fact he was so
But he
good.
was at the heart of it all. Like
I'm not agreeing. I was gutted he left,
I know,
but
yeah.
I think just trying to almost justify it. I think at the time the thinking was, well, we've got Berbatov, we've got
Yeah.
Rooney, we've got Ronnie. Well, we're losing Ronnie obviously, but we've got Berbatov and Rooney. We're all right. Do you know?
And his
what I mean?
agent wasn't the easiest to deal with.
Kia
was he?
Joe Baker,
Yeah.
and he was in a story linking us with someone else, not that long ago. But no, it is one of them. We should have tried to keep him more than we did.
Very nice.
Was Thiago, was he on the podcast with Rio recently talking about how he obviously, we know he nearly came, but he was all
early days.
Yeah, he was that first transfer window after Fergie left.
Under
that first
Moyes.
one under Moyes, yeah.
Was Kroos close to signing as well that same summer? Because Kroos was pretty close to joining United at one point.
I feel like there's been a few stories where
like that, isn't there?
they were ready to go.
Yeah. Thiago Alcantara was a special player, wasn't he?
And this is years before the injuries, isn't it?
Yeah. Just in terms of like natural ability, not many better than him.
And to think that it was Fellaini signed instead is unbelievable.
And there's so many stories like that about United. Van Dijk instead of Lindelof, almost.
Vetoing on Casado for £5 million.
Yeah.
Anyway, new era.
Cheyenne Delift says, anything worse than the Nani red card? I was livid. That's the Real Madrid game, innit? I think, it's got to be.
on.
Yes! Oh! And again!
He's got to
Oh,
score!
mate.
No! Put it back in.
Flip's sake. Good ball over the top from Xerxes.
Does well here, Dallo. Because it's not on, there's no one there, and it's just. That's a lovely ball.
Someone's got to put the ball in the back of the net there.
Almost.
Amashani Varchek says, I presume it's VAR check, sorry. Says you have to, it's all one word. I just realised as I was reading it. You have to see Philippe Albert's audacious chip for Newcastle United. This is definitely the best goal by centre back. Is that the one where we got battered?
Yeah, the 5-1 goal. I think he just Schmeichel's off his line. And I didn't realise he was a centre half.
Lacey.
So Fletcher's getting a bit of grief here, both Fletchers. Marlow United saying Fletcher's is the most blatant nepotism. Are we winning the league, says Dean Farquharson. Skittle787 says Dennis Irwin after that pass from Cantona, he's not a centre-back overall. You're talking about centre-back goals. But that was a great goal.
I expect a bit more technical ability with fullbacks. So
That's
bit of ball striking. Bruno.
Go on, Bruno.
Speaking of.
I thought I was going in then, you know.
Thought he might play the reverse, but
How far off? Not far at all. Tielemans is just class, isn't he? He's only had a few touches, but every time he's done something neat.
I know.
just conducting it, isn't he, all the time?
I'll name this podcast later. Says, geez, lay off the Fletcher hate. It's a friendly and they are still academy players they will develop. Yeah, I agree with that, man. To be honest with you.
I think it's harder for
really
central midfielders to make that step up.
Come on, it'd be nice to get a win here.
Yeah.
Well done, Euro. If this doesn't show that we're ready to go toe-to-toe with Europe's best, then I don't know what will.
Is that a foul?
We're winning a lot.
No, he's not having it.
Oh, bloody hell.
It's a lot of space.
That's not a foul.
Mate, he's just lost it.
Yeah.
Mason Lee says, I reckon Bruno is got to be deadly this season. He's been there and done it with the assist record. Bro is going to hit different this season.
Oh, yes.
100%. I agree. United are in it.
No one in the box. No one making that run.
Unlucky Harry Hamas.
Yeah, you just want to be able to take a touch, have a look, and there's something to aim at, but it's that having to wait.
Yeah,
there's
you're right. That's
there.
a really good point now. He is having to wait in it.
Where's Benji Sesko where you need him?
Throw that.
Yeah. Some power to it.
Broke the lines with that in the middle of the park. We had a board up yet. 91 minutes gone.
Harsh Bald says, Carrick is the man. Back him in the transfer market, please. I agree with that, to be honest with you. Like you were saying, Finn, I think the fact that this idea that maybe United could look at Mount as an option, it was a bit flawed anyway. Even if Mount was stayed fit and done really well, you still need a third midfielder. But the fact he's gone off in the first half in a pre-season game, and the big issue with Mason Mount is his injury record, I just feel like you got to get that third midfielder. I just feel like it's insane to just think you could go into this season with basically Santos, Mainu and Tielemans as your three midfielders. I know Bruno's midfield, but he's a 10 in it.
Yeah, it's not enough.
I just don't see it.
Not that he's an option, but what's the deal with Collier at the minute? Is he?
Looks like he's on his way out, doesn't it?
Is he off?
Yeah, I think I feel really sorry for Toby Collier. I've said it a million times, but just injuries. You know, he saw when he first came. Was it his debut against Liverpool? He came on for Casemiro.
Good.
Great work rate.
Yeah,
He's just one of the best.
You just need a bit more.
He's one of the best
luck.
athletes out there in the midfield. He's, oh my god, he kind of glides a little bit, and he's so fast, and he's got such a great engine.
I like the look of him, but obviously it's just not worked out. And he had a bad injury on his loan spell.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like
a lot of bad luck, a lot of bad timing with injuries, and it's never since he joined from Brighton. I think 18. It's not gone smoothly really at any point.
It's just that he's at an age where he's not going to be playing youth football. So I wondered what the plan was for him, because he's under contract, isn't he?
I don't think he'll be with the first team this season.
Marlow United says, are you concerned about our dependency on Bruno? No, not really.
I think we've kind of reduced that dependency
and also,
recently, haven't we?
If you're going to be dependent on someone, be dependent on someone who's basically fit every game.
And world class.
Yeah, and also almost every team has a player that kind of dependent on. Do you know what I mean? It's very rare to get a team where you've not got that one player that everyone goes, oh, they'd be screwed if they didn't have him or whatever. I don't think that's anything new. Look, you look at the title contender. Look at City. Like, I think we'd all agree that if Haaland got injured, City would be in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, they might still win a lot of games, but are they going to achieve what they want to achieve out someone like Haaland? I don't know. I doubt it. Arsenal, they've made some good signings, but if they lost, I don't know, maybe Gabriel, maybe.
There we go.
Finished full time. United drawing 1-1 with Paris Saint-Germain. Better from United after that ropey start. I think we acquitted ourselves well. Arguably the better team over the full game, Finn.
I think that's fair to say. I don't think we were under too much threat from PSG. I think we created quite well. Obviously, still a bit of pre-season rust with both teams. But yeah, I think it's fair to say United were the better team, and we're certainly picking up a bit of momentum and seeing some nice patterns and players starting to build relationships and get into the groove ahead of the season. So I think overall a fairly positive outing.
Tom, what did you make of that?
It's similar to the last one, wasn't it? Like an early goal. We looked a bit shaky first 5 minutes, but it is pre-season. You don't read too much into that. But the response was good, and the better team for the majority of the game. whether you get that second goal or not doesn't really matter at this stage, does it? I was happy with the performance, and it's nice to see some of the bigger players coming back. And there's maybe one more game.
Yeah.
And then get going.
What is it now? It's.
Are they doing pens?
Oh, is it pens?
Oh, fuck off!
Are we doing pens? No, I don't think so.
No.
It doesn't look like it, does it?
We did pens for this. We were going to do pens, for the Snapdragon Cup because it's a trophy. Ahmad there, bless him. Yeah.
So sweet. Isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. And look, we've got Leeds next week in Dublin, and then it's Milan. In Poland, and then that's it.
Right.
So I think United have been doing well. The disappointing thing for me today, I know people go because of positive because you can go out and sign a player, is just Mount injured again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we need him to stay fit, and we're hoping he stay fit, and he isn't. And I think that just answers that question about whether you can maybe get away with not signing that third midfielder, because you can't rely on Mason Mount. And so, he's a good player, and he's obviously a decent personality to have around the dressing room. Or manager seems to like him and all the rest of it, but he's just injured again, and I think that answers more questions than. That asks more questions than it answers, sorry. Tom, always a pleasure. Me and Finn are going to do the post-match review. So if you stick around, will this take him to it, Harry? Yeah, if you stick around on here, this will take you to the post-match review. So we'll have a little chat afterwards. Also, we've got Joe and we've got Macca over in Gothenburg. Plus, we'll be hearing from Stephen Howson as well. So make sure if you're not doing so already, you're hitting like, share and subscribe. That's been Tom Cooney. Thank you, Tom.
Cheers,
That's been Finn, otherwise known as Academy Scoop. I'm Jay Motty. This has been a watch-along. Manchester United drawing with the European champions. Oh, that's shabby. Thanks for watching.